For the first time in 60 years, the Nine Heaven sect is accepting new disciples. The streets are packed with ordinary people desperate to become cultivators. I show up every day, right on time, waiting in line. But every time I'm almost at the front, I step aside and give up my spot. The immortal keeping order finally notices. He looks at me puzzled. "Hey, I've seen you here 3 days in a row," he says. "But every time it's almost your turn, you leave. What's the rush?" I can't hide it. "My grandpa is sick at home," I say. "I have to turn him over every few hours so he doesn't get sores. I'm afraid if I go back too late, he'll be in pain." The immortal listens, then gives a slow, quiet nod. There's a warmth in his eyes. He smiles gently. "I see," he says. "If you have a moment to spare, I can test you right now. Your spiritual energy feels scattered, though. It might cause some pain." My heart leaps, but the joy fades just as fast. "Thank you," I say, "for the offer. But I've heard that once your spirit root is confirmed, they take you back to the sect. You might not come home for years. If I go," I drop my head and say nothing more. I turn and walk home. Do I want to soar through the sky like an immortal? Of course I do. But then I think about Grandpa lying in that bed, with no one else in the world but me. Every second I stand in that line feels like a betrayal. So I walk away. The moment I get home, I roll Grandpa over with practiced hands, then lift the bowl and carefully help him drink. Glug, glug, glug. When he finishes, he lets out a long, satisfied sigh. I ease him back down onto the bed. Then he speaks. "My good boy," he says. "What kind of spirit root did they find?" His voice is casual, almost too casual, like he's trying not to put pressure on me. So I lie. A lie I tell so I can stay by his side. "Grandpa, the immortal said I have no spirit root." His face goes dark in an instant. Then he roars. "You reckless fool! You dare lie to me? When I found you, I used the last of my spiritual power to scan your body. You have a spirit root. I know it." That outburst blows his own cover wide open. It turns out Grandpa was once a cultivator himself. He had secretly learned a forbidden technique from the sect, was caught, stripped of his cultivation, and forced to run. He fled all the way to the Azure Cloud Mountains where he found me, just a baby. In the years since, his injuries have grown worse, his body slowly breaking down. The only reason he's still alive is because I forage for wild herbs and care for him every day. Now, the anger sets off a violent coughing fit. His face turns purple. "Grandpa!" I rush to his side and pat his back until the coughing eases. When he finally catches his breath, he fixes me with a hard stare. "Why didn't you get tested? Did someone give you trouble?" I'm quiet for a long moment. Then I tell the truth. "If they find my spirit root, they'll take me to the sect. Then who would look after you?" My eyes are steady and sure. That chance at immortality, I mean it when I say it's worth nothing to me. Grandpa scoffs and turns away. We sit in silence, locked in a standoff. The room is very quiet. Finally, Grandpa is the first to speak. His voice is tired. "Zane, go make dinner." "Okay." I'm on my feet at once, washing the wild herbs from my basket. Watching me fuss with the herbs again, Grandpa finally loses patience. "Zane, this body of mine needs something real to eat. Kill that jade feather hen." My hands stop. "That hen? We scraped and saved for months to get her. The plan was to let her lay eggs and keep us through the winter. If we eat her now, how do we survive the cold? If we eat her, will it actually make you better?" I ask, clinging to that last shred of hope. Grandpa nods without hesitation. "So, I don't hesitate. One clean motion. The blade comes down, quick and sure. That little 4-pound hen is gone. That evening, I cook a big pot of broth with the chicken and wild herbs. I pick out every tender piece of meat and feed it to Grandpa bit by bit. When he's full, I scoop out the rest of the chicken and set it in a bowl, saving it for tomorrow. For myself, I scrape the bottom of the pot. A few mouthfuls of thin broth and herb scraps. Grandpa watches all of this in silence. Then he speaks, his voice dangerously calm. "Zane, eat the rest of the chicken." "No, I don't even think about it. If I eat it, then what about your recovery?" Grandpa lets out a rough, raspy laugh. "Listen, I lied to you just now. The sickness of mine, there's no fixing it, and I can feel it. I'm running out of time." Before I can react, he keeps going. "I'm almost gone, Zane. Without that hen, you won't make it through this winter. If you want to live, you have to go to the Nine Heavens sect." "I'm not going," I shout at him. "I'm staying here to take care of you." There's a stubbornness on my young face that doesn't belong on a child. "You foolish boy," Grandpa sighs. "My time has come. Help me take off my shirt." I do as he says, peeling back his worn, layered clothing one piece at a time. There, bound tight to his chest with strips of cloth, is a thick book. "Take it." I untie it and lift it free. I open it. Every page is blank. Not a single word. The cover is carved jade. No title, no markings. "Grandpa, what is this?" "This thing," he says, "is what ruined my entire life." A long pause. His voice is heavy with the weight of years. "Keep it hidden. Don't let anyone find it." Then another cough hits him. A bad one. When it finally stops, his eyes begin to lose focus. His voice drifts. "Grandpa is leaving now. From here on, the road is yours alone. Remember this. The stone is innocent. It's the jade that draws the blade." "I'll remember," I whisper, holding back tears with a hard nod. Then he gathers the last of his fading focus and looks at me. One long, final look. "One more thing," he says. "If you won't fight for yourself, heaven and earth will bury you." Every word costs him. He pushes each one out with the last strength he has. When the last word falls, it's as if a great weight has lifted from him. His eyes slowly close. He doesn't move again. Grandpa, I collapse against his bed and cry until morning. The next day, in the gray light before dawn, I kneel at Grandpa's freshly dug grave and bow 3 times. Then I shoulder everything I own and walk away from home. I have to become a cultivator. It's Grandpa's dying wish. Today is the last day the sect is accepting disciples. I leave early, but the mayor's courtyard is already packed. In the crowd, Ren spots me. She's carrying a pack too, her parents beaming on either side of her. Clearly, she's already passed. I walk over. What kind of spirit root did you get? She lifts her chin and smiles wide. Single element superior root? The immortal said I can go straight to the inner sect as a core disciple. Congratulations. And I mean it. Right then, the mayor's gate swings open. Standing there is the same immortal from yesterday. The one who offered to test me. Master Zen. He sees me and blinks. You're here? Yes, I say, a little embarrassed. My grandpa no longer needs me to look after him, so I thought I'd try. He doesn't ask questions, he just steps aside. Come in. Inside the main hall, a man sits behind the table with a blindfold over his eyes. He is Master Zen's senior, Master Dust. I approach carefully and sit. Place your hand on the table, the blindfolded man says, sensing me before I even settle. His voice is perfectly flat. I set my hand down, he reaches out and lays 2 fingers on my wrist, and a cold current shoots straight into my meridians. Outside, Ren's parents are nudging her forward. Ren, go in and see whether Zane has a spirit root or not. She barely makes it through the door before Master Dust lifts his hand and speaks. Congratulations, you have a spirit root you can cultivate. The weight in my chest finally lifts. Grandpa didn't lie to me. But what comes next hits like ice water poured over my head. However, I'm sorry to say, your spirit root is a 5-element junk root, the worst possible quality. At best, you'll reach stage 1 of chi cultivation, and go no further. The blood drains from my face. My talent is that bad? I murmur. Not bad, he corrects me. The worst, you would only qualify as a servant disciple. 50 years of service to the sect before you're free to leave. Are you willing? As long as I can cultivate, I'll do it. I don't hesitate. Good. Wait outside. I bow and walk out. The moment I step into the courtyard, I see Ren. I'm about to say something, but she recoils like she's seen something disgusting and ducks behind her parents. Her mother pulls me aside, wearing a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. Zane, look. You and Ren are both in the sect now, but you're a servant and Ren is a core disciple. That's worlds apart. What are you saying? A cold feeling creeps into my chest. She and her husband exchange a look, and finally show their true colors. Your grandpa once saved Ren's grandfather, and the 2 elders arranged a marriage between you two. But look at the gap between you now. Don't you think it's better to call off that engagement? A chill shoots from my feet straight to the top of my skull. I turn to look at Ren, the girl I grew up with, and her eyes are filled with contempt. It cuts me to the bone. Fine. I don't say another word. I dig into my pack, pull out the engagement letter I've kept for years, and tear it in 2, right in front of all of them. Zane! Ren's face flushes red. She fixes me with a cold glare. From now on at the sect, don't you dare bring up anything between us. Understood? Ungrateful. And now she has the nerve to threaten me. I look at her and force out each word like I'm pushing it through gritted teeth. You disgust me. Then I turn and walk away. Grandpa's gone. The engagement is gone. I hold back my tears. I refuse to let them fall. I'm not letting anyone see me cry. Master Zen has watched the whole thing. He walks over and puts a hand on my shoulder. It's all right. A junk root can still cultivate. I'm Zen, also a servant disciple. Call me Brother Zen. And the one inside, that's Brother Dust, same as me. I freeze. These 2, who look every bit the part of legendary immortals, are just servant disciples? It's an honor, Brother Zen. I bow quickly. And just like that, I follow them out of town. The road ahead is mountain after mountain. And for the first time, I truly understand what worlds apart means. Core disciples like Ren ride in cushioned carriages pulled by massive demon beasts, while we servants trudge along behind them on foot. 500 miles of mountain roads on 2 tired legs. And we haven't even reached the gate yet. The gap is already so brutally clear. Now I understand exactly why Ren's family broke the engagement. But honestly, forget the carriage. What I really envy is Brother Dust. He glides through the sky on a flying sword, slow and unhurried. That's the immortal I always imagined becoming. After more than a month of travel, we finally arrive at the 9 Heavens sect. The moment we pass through the gate, the inner sect disciples and the outer sect disciples are whisked away by their respective elders. I and another new arrival from my hometown, Hao, are taken by Master Zine to the servant hall. The hall master gives each of us a copy of the Return to Origin manual, 1 Chi awakening pill, and hands us straight over to Overseer Wang. He leads us into a yard. This is the woodcutting yard. Your job is to supply firewood to Alchemy Peak's disciples. One of you cuts, the other splits. 100 pounds a day. Choose. Overseer Wang's voice is flat and cold. Hao doesn't think twice. He picks splitting, which looks easier. That leaves me with cutting. You won't be punished for falling short the first month. After that, you lose contribution points or worse. Clear? Clear! Hao and I answer together. That night, alone in my room, I hide the Chi awakening pill under my bed. Then I reach into my shirt and pull out the nameless scroll. For a whole month, this thing has been strapped to my body, The jade cover is hard as stone, it's rubbed my skin raw. Grandpa told me to keep it hidden but never said what it actually does. I don't dwell on it. I set it aside, pick up the Return to Origin manual, sit cross-legged and try to cultivate. I close my eyes and reach out with my senses, trying to pull the spiritual energy of heaven and earth into my body, but it's so much harder than I imagined. I try all night and get nowhere. The next morning there's a heavy knock at the door. I open it to find a grimy, bearded brute who tosses me a wood-cutting blade. Named Stone. You follow me up the mountain from now on. On the way up, Stone points out which plants are poisonous and which berries are safe to eat. I thank him and think, hey, maybe this guy's alright. I'm wrong. When we arrive, he points at a trunk barely as thick as my thigh and tells me to cut it down. I swing with everything I have. The blade bounces back and nearly flies out of my hands. My whole grip goes numb. The trunk doesn't even have a white mark on it. Stone shakes his head, shoves me aside, spits in his palm, channels his chi, and slams his blade down. It sinks deep into the trunk, nearly splits it in two. Use your blade to scrape off the bark. Just this one tree, that's 2 days of quota. I scrape at the bark, clumsy and slow. Stone watches with barely concealed disgust. At this rate, you'll never finish your quota, ever. His eyes flick to me, calculating. There's a smile on his face, but none of it reaches his eyes. Tell you what, give me that chi awakening pill of yours, and from now on, all you have to do is strip bark. I'll handle the real cutting. My stomach drops. I see exactly what he's after. Stone, without that pill, I have no way to start cultivating. Once I build up some chi, I won't need your help with the trees anymore. I pull that answer from nowhere. Stone's expression goes cold. He doesn't say another word. He just turns and starts hacking at the azure elm like he's trying to kill it. The force of each blow shakes the ground under my feet. Chips of wood rain down on me like hailstones. He's doing it on purpose. By the time we scrape together enough firewood, on the way back, Stone only helps when the path goes uphill. Every other inch, I push the heavy wheelbarrow alone. Ever since I refused him, his attitude toward me is nothing but punishment. Back at the woodcutting yard, I feel like I'm about to fall apart. I find Hal still crouched in the yard, splitting wood, not even close to done. I head over to help. The moment he sees me, everything he's been holding in all day breaks loose. He bursts into tears. Zane, look at my hands. He drops the axe and holds them out, covered in blisters, packed so tight there's barely skin between them. Some are still seeping golden liquid. I stare at his hands and my heart goes cold. Splitting wood is even worse than cutting. This is day one as a servant disciple. When we finally finish everything, Hao and I drop into our seats at the dinner table like two starving strays. Overseer Wang serves us himself. The table is loaded with meat dishes that make our mouths water instantly. Before anyone says a word, Hao and I are already wolfing it down, practically inhaling the plates. We brace for a fight over the food, but when we finally look up, the other disciples are all eating slowly, calmly. Some even take a few bites and walk away. Overseer Wang watches us with a complicated look. Ha! Slow down, no one's taking it from you. Of course I know why. They're cultivators. They don't need food to function. But Hao and I do. We haven't entered chi cultivation yet. 1 meal a day. If I don't eat until I'm full, I won't be able to lift an axe tomorrow. After dinner, I rush back to my room, lock the door behind me, and tear open my shirt, ripping the nameless scroll free from my chest. After a full day strapped against my skin, my chest is red and raw, burning like fire. If Grandpa hadn't made me swear to protect it, I'd have thrown this thing in a ditch. Then I crawl under the bed, find the box with the chi awakening pill, crack it open just enough to see it's still there, and breathe in the rich, thick scent of the medicine. Just one deep breath before I close it and slide it back. I need to write down what Stone taught me about those plants, I muttered to myself. Know them, and you survive. Miss them, and you die on that mountain. I grab a brush but can't find any paper. My eyes land on the nameless scroll. Good enough. I open to the first page and carefully write 3 words, Azure Skyvine. And then something strange happens. The words I just wrote vanish instantly. In their place, lines of glowing golden text bloom out of nothing, crawling across the entire page. Azure Skyvine. Low-grade toxic plant. Extremely poisonous on contact. Causes skin to blister, rot, and go numb. Antidote: crushed dragon root herb and apply directly to the wound. Identification by cultivation: blue surface marks beginner grade. Silver veins appear at over 1,000 years. Mortal tier. And at the end of all the text, a terrifyingly detailed illustration of the Azure Skyvine appears, so vivid it looks alive, pressed right into the page. Every tiny hair on every tendril perfectly visible. My mouth falls open. My heart pounds like it's trying to break through my ribs. It takes me a long moment to come back to myself. I slam the scroll shut, then snap it back open. Blank again. Every page is empty, as if nothing ever happened. I refuse to accept it. I rub my eyes, pick up the brush, and write again. Golden berry. Instantly, the golden text explodes across the page. Golden berry. Low-grade thorn spirit plant. Barbs are poisonous. Fruit is safe to eat. Antidote: channel chi through the body or consume jade bamboo herb. Identification by cultivation: bright gold fruit marks beginner grade. Deep red marks mortal tier. This time I'm sure. I press the scroll tight against my chest with both hands, shaking all over. This is no broken, worthless book. This is a treasure. In the days that follow, I keep following Stone up the mountain. Half a month passes. My cultivation level hasn't budged at all. My arms are stronger, sure, but finishing the quota on my own is still just a dream. I have no choice but to keep trailing behind Stone and enduring it. What worries me even more, though, Brother Zen told me clearly, stay somewhere rich with spiritual energy for half a month, and your spirit root will awaken. From the time I crossed the Azure Cloud Mountains, it's been 2 full months now. Inside my body, nothing. Complete silence. Even Hao, with his 4-element mixed root, has already hit stage 1 of chi cultivation. He can finish his quota on his own now, and I'm still the weakest one here. I can't keep waiting. So I steel myself and go back to Brother Zen at the servant hall. Brother Zen, it's been 2 months. Hao is already at stage 1. Why am I still stuck? I come straight to the point, my voice carrying an edge of urgency I don't even notice. Take it easy, says Master Zen. He gives my shoulder a pat. Hao has a 4-element root. You're different. Yours is a 5-element junk root, slower as expected. I clench my jaw and ask the question that's been burning in me all along. Is there any way at all, to improve a spirit root's quality? Master Zen seems moved by my determination. He sighs and speaks honestly. There are legends. It's said that in ancient times a great immortal used a technique called the soul refinement art to reshape spirit roots, but it was lost long ago. Whether it ever truly existed, no one really knows. Lost. I thank Brother Zen and walk away. For everyone else, that's just a myth. But for me, maybe not. Back in my room, I bolt upright. A thought detonates in my mind. This scroll, if the nameless scroll can reveal information about spirit plants, can it reveal a cultivation technique? Like the soul refinement art? I light a candle immediately, and with trembling hands, write on the scroll, soul refinement art. It works. Exactly as I hoped. Golden text floods the pages. The long-lost soul refinement art, right here in my hands. But this technique is dangerously extreme. The process requires specific medicines at every stage. Both the core refinement and the herb treatments carry a high risk of death. And it can only begin once you've reached stage 1 of chi cultivation. Mind-focusing herb, marrow-cleansing flower, crimson sunfruit. I write down every spirit herb required, then look each one up in the scroll one by one, burning their appearance and habitat into my memory. Every time I go up that mountain, I'll be watching for them. I make myself that promise. If I can't find them, I'll buy them with contribution points. A month later, my 5-element junk root finally softens under the constant flow of spiritual energy. It links to my consciousness at last. But condensing spiritual energy into my meridian core is pure torture. Hao refills his meridian core in 3 hours. I need 6. But this grueling extra time brings an unexpected gift. Because spiritual energy washes through my body twice as long as anyone else's, my physical body grows tougher, far tougher. This, I think with a bitter smile, is what Grandpa called the balance of heaven. The moment has come. I reach under the bed and pull out the Chi Awakening pill I've been hoarding all this time and swallow it whole. It dissolves the instant it hits my throat. A wild surge of energy detonates inside me, like a dam breaking, flooding through my meridian core and every corner of my body. When the medicine finally burns itself out, I feel like my body has been forged for years. Muscles tight, my meridian core expanded several times over. 1 pill, worth a year of hard training. Stage 1 of chi cultivation, reached. My eyes snap open. I feel the power surging through me, sharper senses, clearer mind, stronger than I've ever been. The urge to roar at the sky is almost too strong to hold back. The next morning, before dawn, I grab my wood-cutting blade and charge up the mountain alone. Today I don't need anyone. I find the biggest, thickest azure elm I can spot. I take a slow breath and pull on the chi freshly born inside my meridian core. My strength multiplies dozens of times. I swing, a sharp ringing crash, and the blade actually bites through the bark, sinking in a full inch. Yes, my heart soars. I wrench the blade free, line it up with the same notch, pour chi in again, and drive home the second strike. Clang, another half-inch deeper, but it's still nowhere near enough to bring this tree down. I raise the blade and gather my strength. On the third strike, my stamina starts to give out. The blade skews and cuts a new gash in the wrong spot. Damn! My mind is clear, but my body can't keep up. I'm gasping. I rest a moment, then keep going. When I finally cut more than 3 inches deep, I throw my whole body against the trunk and push it over. But right then, a wave of exhaustion crashes through me. My legs buckle. I nearly hit the ground. I look inward. My meridian core is completely empty. Just those few swings and my chi is already gone. I sink down where I stand and start meditating to recover. This is going to take at least half a day. Today's quota is probably a lost cause. The sun is barely up when Stone saunters up the mountain with his blade on his shoulder. He passes by, spots the fallen tree, and doesn't even blink. Just contempt. Well, Zane, you don't actually think hitting stage 1 means you don't need me anymore, do you? He walks toward me, slow and steady. I checked with Overseer Wang. You've got the weakest spirit root in the sect. Your ceiling's another man's floor, get it? Smart move would be, hand over your contribution points every month. And I'll not take it for nothing. I'll knock down 1 tree for you every day, save you the trouble. His tone is aggressive, but I can hear it. He's not trying to bully me. He genuinely believes what he's saying. In his mind, giving cultivation resources to someone like me is a waste. I open my eyes slowly and look up at him. I speak in the humblest voice I have, and say the most defiant thing I've ever said. Thank you, Stone. I know my talent is terrible, but I don't accept it. Stone stares. Then he bursts out laughing, doubling over, shaking his head. Ha! Every new weakling says the same thing. None of you know your place. He points at me and shakes his head. Fine, keep at it. When you can't take it anymore, come find me. And with that, he lifts his blade and walks into the trees without looking back. I ignore him. I yank a handful of golden berries off a nearby vine, stems and all, and shove them in my mouth. Once there's something in my stomach, the weakness starts to fade. I get to my feet and swing the blade again. By dusk I finally drag a full cart of wood back to the wood-cutting yard. Overseer Wang spots me. Well, you went alone today? There's a warmth in his eyes. Yes sir, I hit stage 1 of chi cultivation. I smile back. He weighs the load. 120 pounds, not bad. He gives my shoulder a pat. Ease off a little tomorrow. No need to push so hard. I know I've gone over quota. But I'm new. Unlike Stone and his crew, I can't afford to cut corners. After dinner I go straight back to my room and cultivate. Stone thinks I'll crack. He's wrong. Not only do I not give up, I fall in love with it. That feeling of growing stronger every single day, I can't get enough. Cutting wood becomes its own kind of training. Half a year goes by in a blink. I go from needing 6 full hours to finish the quota, to finishing it comfortably in 4. My blade technique grows steady, and my control over my chi becomes more precise with every swing. 500 contribution points saved. Enough to trade for another chi awakening pill, or 1 marrow cleansing flower. I hesitate. The pill will push my cultivation level forward, but the marrow cleansing flower is the key ingredient for the soul refinement art, the thing that could actually fix my spirit root. It's a brutal call. Fix the root problem first. That's my decision. Long-term, fixing the root is the only real path forward. I head to the servant hall. Brother Zen and Brother Dust are both on duty. Hey, you actually broke through to stage 1. Master Zen looks up, genuinely pleased. I bow and hand over my token. Brother Zen, I'd like to use 500 contribution points to trade for a top-grade spirit herb, 1 marrow cleansing flower. Master Zen nods and, unusually, personally escorts me to the treasure pavilion. But the moment we leave, a streak of sword light screams through the air and lands at the entrance of the servant hall. A cultivator at peak chi cultivation steps off the blade, one arm wrapped around a pretty young woman. Brother Dust rises immediately. Can I help you? The young woman hops down from the flying sword with an amused smirk and leans close to Brother Dust's face, testing, it seems, whether he's truly blind. Brother Dust can't see her, but he can feel that smug, self-satisfied energy rolling off her. He doesn't react. Do you remember me? The girl from Lingyuan Town asks. Brother Dust thinks. You're Ren. He remembers her well, the girl with a superior root who broke off an engagement on the spot. That's right. Ren nods, pleased. Greetings, Senior Ren. Brother Dust gives a slight bow. That bow sends Ren's vanity through the roof. This man, once an immortal she had to look up to, is now bowing to her. She loves every second of it. Rise, she says, lifting her chin, adopting the tone of someone used to giving orders. I have a question. Where is Zane? He's assigned to the woodcutting yard, a servant disciple. Brother Dust's voice stays perfectly respectful. His face stays perfectly blank. Inside, though, he's laughing. A stage 2 cultivator, posturing in front of someone at stage 9. If they weren't inside the sect grounds, one slap would put Rex in his place. I need a personal cultivation chamber built. Pick me 2 workers. One of them must be Zane. Understood? Ren's voice sharpens. Understood. Brother Dust nods immediately. Once Ren finishes giving Rex the location details and the 2 of them fly off together on his sword, all cozy, Master Zen returns with me right on cue. Zane, hold on. Brother Dust stops me. What is it, Brother Dust? I'm confused. Someone has specifically requested you for an assignment, 1 month. 500 contribution points. The job is building a personal cultivation chamber. Finish early, you still get paid in full. Brother Dust's face is cold, his voice carrying a thread of barely contained anger. Your woodcutting duties are suspended for now. Go pack your things, report here tomorrow morning, and bring How. I don't dare ask questions. I agree and leave. The moment I'm out of the servant hall, I head straight into the deep mountains and find a mind-focusing herb I'd spotted weeks ago. Back in my room, I grind all the herbs together, mixing the freshly traded marrow-cleansing flower and the crimson sunfruit, close my eyes, and swallow everything at once. The moment the medicine hits my stomach, a brutal burning bitterness explodes through every organ in my body. I want to throw up, but it's already too late. The medicine takes hold, energy surges backwards through my body, and I crash to the floor, convulsing. A cry tears out of me, then I slam my hand over my mouth, terrified someone will hear. The medicine hits like waves of red-hot iron hammers, battering through every limb, every inch of skin, every single bone, each one screaming with a pain like being scraped to the marrow. I curl on the floor, convulsing all night long. The only thing keeping me going is this. I can feel it, clearly, undeniably. My 5-element junk root, once a tangled, chaotic mess, is being slowly reshaped by the medicine, strand by strand, becoming cleaner, clearer, more pure. By dawn, the medicine has finally burned through. I nearly crawl into a sitting position. I activate the soul refinement art immediately. Core refinement means forcing your chi to condense inside your spirit root, hammering it into raw spiritual power, then feeding that power back into the root itself. It's like lighting a fire inside your own chest and burning from the inside out. Sweat rolls down my face in fat drops. My lips go white. My teeth chatter. but I don't stop. After 1 full hour, the technique completes 1 full cycle. I gasp for breath like a fish thrown onto dry land, and I feel it immediately. The speed at which I absorb and refine spiritual energy has doubled. My talent is still only on par with Hao's 4-element root, but for the first time I can see a way forward. When the hour strikes, I get Hao and we report to the servant hall on time. Follow me. Brother Dust drops those 2 words like stones and launches into the sky on his flying sword. Hao and I can only sprint on the ground, barely keeping up. Dozens of miles later, we arrive at a cliff face dense with spiritual energy. Brother Dust gestures at the 2 of us, both heaving for breath, and speaks to a figure waiting at the cliff's edge. Senior Ren, I brought them as requested. Fine, you're dismissed. The girl's voice is ice. Hao and I finally catch our breath and look up straight into a pretty face carved with arrogance. Ren? The name falls out of me before I can stop it. Standing there in the gleaming robes of a core disciple, clearly already at stage 2 of chi cultivation. Who gave you permission to call her that? Rex, standing beside her, explodes. He closes the distance in 1 step and the slap comes fast and clean. The force sends me flying. I hit the ground hard. My right cheek goes numb instantly, my mouth filling with the taste of blood. My head is ringing. Beside me, Hao drops to his knees in a panic, bowing over and over. Hao greets Senior Rex and Senior Ren. Rex watches me struggle to get up, and only then does the satisfaction settle into his face. Zane, I'm a core disciple now. From now on, address me properly. Ren looks down at me from above and tosses a blueprint and a set of stone carving tools at my feet. Follow the blueprint and carve me a cultivation chamber. 1 month. If it's off-spec or unfinished, you both lose your cultivation and get thrown off the mountain. She snuggles against Rex like a nestling bird, and they soar away on his flying sword. Disgusting. Only once they're out of sight does Hao dare stand up. He spits at the sky. That ungrateful snake. Back in town she followed you around like a puppy. The moment she sets foot in the sect, she acts like she never knew you. I wipe my mouth and pull myself slowly off the ground, eyes cold. She has a superior root now. She's a core disciple, and I'm her 5-element junk root ex-fiancé. Worthless by her standards. Why would she bother acknowledging me at all? Hao and I pick up our tools and attack the cliff face. Heya, brothers together, shouldering the load. We hum the old folk song from home and pour every drop of rage and humiliation into the rock. That evening, Ren comes back to check the progress. She finds a massive opening already carved into the cliff, and the 2 of us passed out cold inside it. Who said you could sleep in there? The shriek snaps us awake. Greetings, Senior Ren. Hao scrambles up. We burned through all our chi. We were just going to rest one night. Progress won't fall behind, I swear. This is my personal cultivation chamber. Ren's face twists with disgust. Filth like you sleeping inside it? Get out now. Hao doesn't argue. He grabs me and drags me out of the chamber we carved with our own hands, driven out like 2 stray dogs. The moment we're outside, some of the heat goes out of Ren's anger. She raises a finger at my nose and speaks slowly, word by word. If I catch you 2 sleeping inside again, I'll have Rex beat you both into cripples. She lets that land, then she turns and leaves, satisfied. Hao mouths something vicious at her back, all held back fury. Just wait till I reach foundation building. I'll make her regret it. He can curse all he wants, but he's not setting foot back in that cave. Outside, the cold is brutal. The wind cuts into our faces like a knife. If we weren't cultivators now, our bodies tougher than regular people's, we'd probably freeze out here. I sit against a rock for just a short while, and the wind is already forcing my eyes shut. Forget it, I tell Hao. Let's restore our chi and get back to work. Sooner we finish, sooner we're out of here. Hao straightens up immediately. He blows into his hands to warm them. Right. We both drop into a cross-legged sitting position and start cultivating. An hour later, our chi is back. Under the pale moonlight, we haul the rubble out of the cave. We only dare dig deeper once daylight returns. 1 wrong measurement means another beating. We sleep only 1 hour a day, and even that is sitting meditation instead of actual rest. For 2 people barely past stage 1, it's absolutely killing us. We push through anyway, for 7 days straight. By the end, we're so hungry the world is going dim at the edges, and so tired we can barely grip our tools. Rest a bit, I tell Hao, giving his shoulder a pat. I'll go find something to eat. I stumble into the forest. Hao sits right where he is and meditates to recover. But not long after I leave, a blade of sword light drops from the sky. Rex arrives with Ren. He takes 1 look at the chamber taking shape in the cliff, and Ren allows herself a small smile, but then she scans the area, and her brow knits tight. Hao, where's Zane? Hao drops his tools and hurries over, head bowed. Senior Ren, Zane, he went to find some food. He'll be back any moment. Is that so? Ren's lips curl, not buying it. Right then I come jogging back, shirt bundled up holding a small pile of wild berries. The moment I see them my expression drops, but I push the anger down and bow. Greetings, Senior Rex, Senior Ren. Ren doesn't even glance at me. I might as well be air. She turns to Hao and pulls out a voucher. This is 1,000 contribution points. Split evenly. It was meant for both of you. She pauses on purpose. Her gaze sweeps over me with contempt. But I only saw 1 person working. The other one was slacking off. So all 1,000 goes to you. Those words hit like ice water poured from crown to heel. Hao freezes for a moment, doesn't dare say a word, and bows low to accept the 1,000 contribution points. Thank you, Senior Ren. He forces out a smile. Clear out the last of the rubble and you can get out of my sight, Ren commands. I'm bringing in a formation master shortly. Move fast. And just like that, she and Rex take to the sky on his sword. Not one more glance in my direction. Every drop of my sweat, every hour of work, erased with one sentence. Something cold hardens in my chest. My fists tighten. I turn to leave, but Hao runs after me. He shoves the entire 1,000 contribution points into my hands. I've still got 500 saved up I haven't touched. He scratches his head, honest as ever. Use it for spirit herbs. I don't need it anyway. A second ago he was groveling. Now he's standing tall for me. Something hot surges straight to my eyes. I spin around fast, drag my sleeve hard across my face, refusing to let him see. I walk back into the cave and push the berries into his hands. Then I grab my tools and get to work without a single word. The two of us together. We clear the chamber out fast. Once we confirm everything is in order, we head straight to the servant hall to report. Brother Dust's manner toward me is noticeably warmer. Clearly, he's figured it out. Ren wasn't helping me. She was humiliating me. Did they give you trouble? He asks. No, we got the contribution points. I keep my voice flat, not one word of complaint. Good. Brother Dust nods. Right after Hao and I go straight to the treasure pavilion. 1,000 contribution points. I trade every last one for the spirit herbs needed to practice the soul refinement art. Exactly enough for one full round. On the way back, Hao finally can't hold it in. Zane, what are all these herbs even for? I give him a mysterious smile. I'll tell you later. You wouldn't believe me right now anyway. I give his shoulder a firm pat and look at him seriously. Consider this a loan. I'll pay you back before the year is out. Come on, Hao waves me off. Whether he means it or not, I don't know, but I do. I owe him. Back in my room, I stare at the pile of herbs in front of me. My heart is hammering. It's not the pain I'm afraid of. It's that I might pass out before it works. But then I think of Ren's contempt. I think of Rex's slap burning across my face. My jaw locks. Do it. If I don't fix this cursed 5-element junk root, I'll spend my whole life being ground under someone else's heel. I crush the herbs and swallow them in one go, then bite down hard and brace for the agony. All night long, energy boils and surges backwards through my body like scalding water. Several times I feel myself slipping, but every time my mind starts to go dark, Ren's face and Rex's face flash in front of me. I have to hold on. If I don't, I'll never get up from this. As dawn breaks, the last wave of pain finally ebbs. I'm completely drained, but my body feels lighter than it ever has. I drop into meditation immediately and activate the soul refinement art. This time, spiritual energy flows through me so much faster. The core refinement completes, and without resistance, my cultivation level shatters through its ceiling. Stage 2 of Chi cultivation reached, and my spirit root has risen a full grade. Now it's equivalent to a 3-element root, and because all 5 elements are in harmony, my cultivation speed actually surpasses a standard 3-element root. 7 more times. I feel the power coursing through me. My eyes burn with a fierce, blazing light. 7 more times and my spirit root will surpass what they call a heavenly spirit root. For the contribution points, I have to push even harder. The moment dawn breaks, I shoulder my wood-cutting blade and head into the mountain. Stage 2 Chai cultivation plus half a year of experience. Now I can bring down an azure elm in 3 strikes. But right when I'm hitting my stride, Stone appears behind me out of nowhere. He stares, his eyes full of shock and suspicion. You, a 5-element junk root, hitting stage 2 in half a year? He demands. How? I grin. I've had my answer ready for a while. Did a job a few days ago, earned some contribution points, traded them for 2 Chi awakening pills. Stone eyes me, half convinced, half not. He doesn't push further. He heads off into the trees to do his own work. I finish my entire quota by mid-morning and go straight to the servant hall without stopping. Brother Zen, I finished today's quota already. Is there anything else you can assign me? I want to earn more contribution points. Master Zen flips through the task log. The hillside west of the woodcutting yard has been cleared out. They need someone to replant. 5 contribution points per tree that survives. Interested? Yes. Master Zen hands me a map and 100 contribution points. Go to the medicine garden and pick up the saplings from moss. This is a loan. Pay me back later. Thank you, Brother Zen. I grab everything and sprint back to the woodcutting yard, grab my wheelbarrow, and head for the medicine garden. The wheelbarrow feels too slow. I just hoist the 50-pound thing onto my shoulder and run. Following the map, I find the medicine garden. Moss! I call out toward the thatched hut. A dark-skinned young man steps out, the spirit plant cultivator Moss. He sees me and breaks into a grin. What's up? I'd like 10 azure elm saplings. Moss's face falls instantly. 10? You planting a little garden? First time doing this, didn't want to overcommit. I give him a sheepish smile. He sighs and waves me in, already annoyed. He tosses me a shovel. For this little bit of business, you do the digging yourself. I don't argue. I pick it up and get to work. Hey Moss, how many contribution points does a spirit plant cultivator pull in a month? I ask as I dig. Not as easy as you'd think. Moss sighs. A good year net's about 1,000, but take on some private work on the side and the numbers go up. Private work? That catches my attention. Moss reads it on my face immediately and perks right up. Oh? Looking to order something? I finish digging up all 10 saplings before I ask, keeping it casual. Marrow cleansing flower, crimson sunfruit, a few others, one of each. How many contribution points? 700. Moss's eyes flick with interest. Buy in bulk, I can cut you a deal. I'll take 7 sets. Name your price. Moss thinks it over, then commits. 4,000. Honest price. A solid discount compared to the treasure pavilion. Done. I agree on the spot. We shake on it. I load up the saplings and head up the West Hill energized. Meanwhile, back at the woodcutting yard, Stone spots Hao splitting wood and wanders over. How much did you and Zane actually earn on that last job? Haha, total was 1,000. I didn't need mine, so I gave it all to him. Hao says it straight. You're way too generous. Stone grabs him by the back of the neck, pretending to be upset. Zane, that useless root of his? He took your points and bought chi awakening pills with them, and now he's at stage 2. Hao hears something off in that and pushes back without thinking. Hold on, you've got it wrong. Zane bought spirit herbs, not pills. In an instant, Stone's expression shifts entirely. He grabs Hao by the head and lowers his voice to something deadly serious. Say that again. Hao is scared now, but he won't lie. I saw it myself. He traded for a whole pile of spirit herbs. Stone goes still when he hears that. His eyes dart, and then the pieces fall into place. A 5-element waste root. Even with pills, there's no way he should have broken through this fast. Something's wrong. He shoves Hao aside and charges straight into my room. At the same time, I'm just coming down from the West Hill with my wheelbarrow. Hao, finished? I call out. Hao doesn't answer. He just stares at my room in alarm, mouth opening and closing. I follow his gaze. My door is wide open. Inside, the sound of things being torn apart. My face goes cold. I move fast and come face to face with Stone walking out of my room, empty-handed. He glares at me with pure venom, says nothing, and leaves. I stand in the doorway and stare at the wreckage of my room. I say nothing either, but my knuckles have gone white. We lock eyes. The air between us crackles. Once Stone is gone, I grab a water bucket and head out to water the saplings. Where are you going? Hao falls in beside me. West Hill, watering the trees. Hao doesn't say a word. He just picks up another bucket and follows. On the way, I ask him what happened. Hao tells me everything, every detail in order. Now he thinks I'm hiding something. I pour water on a sapling, voice flat. I told him I use pills. Then you told him I bought herbs. With a root as weak as mine, normal cultivation should never produce a breakthrough like this. So now he's convinced I stumbled onto something huge. So how did you actually do it? Hao's eyes are wide. I look at him. I decide to bet on this brother of mine. My grandpa taught me a technique before he died. It's called the soul refinement art. It can improve a spirit root's grade. The herbs I bought, that's what they were for. I tell him everything about the soul refinement art, only saying it came from my late grandfather. If this gets out, it will bring disaster down on both of us. I put extra weight on those 2 words, both of us. Hao's eyes light up like fires. He looks at me with pure longing. Can you teach me? Of course, I nod. But you'll have to do the same as me. Grind every task, earn the points, buy the herbs. Deal. From now on, I'll plant trees with you too. Hao makes up his mind on the spot. In the days that follow, outside of our regular duties, every free moment goes to the West Hill. But the good days don't last. One day I'm in the middle of cutting when Stone shows up again. He picks up a pebble and cracks it against my raised blade. Stone, something you need? I ask. Why did you lie to me and say you bought pills? He presses in. Did you get your hands on some kind of secret fortune? I don't even bother looking at him. I keep cutting. Not going to answer? He scoops up another rock and hurls it into my back. A sharp burst of pain. I stop. Without a word, without turning around, I walk deeper into the forest. You've got nerve! Stone shouts after me. I think it's over. I'm wrong. When I head to the West Hill that afternoon, the sight in front of me ignites a rage I've never felt before. Over 100 saplings, every one we worked so hard to keep alive, all cut off at the roots, scattered across the ground in every direction. What kind of gutless coward does something like this? Hao explodes, cursing in a torrent. I just stand there breathing hard, shaking with anger. Who else could it be but Stone? The stone is innocent. It's the jade that draws the blade. Grandpa's words echo in my ears. You want to push me? Then don't blame me for what comes next. I close my fists, and every last shred of reason burns away. How? My voice is as cold as iron. Give me your 500 contribution points. What for? More saplings? The red in my eyes scares him. Just give them to me. I hold out my hand. He doesn't ask again. He reaches into his shirt and pulls out the voucher. I take it and run full speed to the treasure pavilion and trade everything I have for 1 chi awakening pill. That evening, at dinner, I keep my head down and eat in silence. Stone watches me and smirks to himself. Then he raises his voice on purpose. Overseer Wang, my blade's gone dull. Can't even cut through a sapling anymore. Can I get a new one? He watches me as he says it, baiting. I don't bite. I turn to Overseer Wang instead. Overseer Wang, could I take a few days off? I need some rest. Sure, go ahead. Don't push yourself too hard, Overseer Wang says with a note of concern. That night, I go back to my room and swallow the chi awakening pill in one go. One thought and one thought only, break through, then settle the score. The pill's power detonates inside me. 3 days later, deep in the night, the spiritual energy in my room surges, rippling outward in a small wave. My eyes snap open. Golden light blazes from within. Stage 3 of chi cultivation reached. I feel the power flooding through my meridian core. I stand. Time to settle accounts with Stone. Before dawn even breaks, I take my woodcutting blade and push open Hao's door. Let's go. Hao crawls out of bed, still half asleep. He sees the cold in my eyes and doesn't say a single word. He grabs his splitting axe and follows me up the mountain. As dawn breaks, Hao and I are already hidden in the trees, waiting. Sure enough, Stone comes trudging up with his wheelbarrow. He brushes aside a pile of dead leaves and branches like he's done it 100 times, revealing 50 pounds of azure elm logs he'd stashed underneath. Cut another 150 today, and tomorrow's a rest day. He chuckles to himself and wipes his nose on his hand. Right then, Hao steps out on cue. Stone! Stone flinches, then relaxes when he sees it's Hao, and immediately turns irritable. What are you doing here? I came up with Zane to cut wood. Hao gestures toward where I'm hiding and plays innocent. Hey, Stone, how come you've already cut so much and you just got here? None of your business. Stone's face shifts. He spits out a curse, guilt all over him. Now, I burst out of the tree line, blade in hand, and close the distance to his back in 3 strides. The blade rises and comes down hard. Stone senses it, but it's already too late. The blade drives into Stone's back. G-charged steel cutting straight through his defenses. He lets out a low grunt and staggers to the ground. The spiritual energy inside him fractures and bleeds out. His presence fades fast. The man who had spent 30 years cutting wood ends up cut down himself, like a log. He's gone. Hao reaches out and checks for a breath. His voice is shaking. I stand there breathing hard, unable to move. I remember the first day on the mountain. How he pointed out which plants were safe, which were poison. I even thought he was a decent person back then. But everything he did after crossed a line I couldn't ignore. Zane, this guy's got 1,000 contribution points on him. Hao digs through Stone's dirty pocket and pulls out a voucher. Take it. Consider it what I owed you. I push the voucher back into his hands. Go back now. If anything comes of this, I'll take the blame alone. I'm already loading Stone's body onto the wheelbarrow as I say it, looking for somewhere to bury him. Zane, what are you saying? Hao grabs my arm. What do you mean you'll take the blame alone? Are we brothers or not? Something warm moves through me when I see his face. I point to the marks on the ground. Then stay here and clean this up. Fine. I take Stone's body and head straight up the West Hill. I carry Stone to the West Hill and find a hidden spot to bury him. Let him rest. When it's done, I drag the wheelbarrow far away and burn it to ash, then scrub every trace from myself. To avoid suspicion, I spend the entire rest of the day planting trees on the West Hill, never going near the North Forest. That evening at dinner, Overseer Wang brings it up, just as I expected. Anyone see Stone today? The other servants all shake their heads. Overseer Wang's gaze lands on me last. Zane, what about you? Haven't seen him. I was out west planting trees all day. I keep my face calm, but inside my heart is pounding. Stone couldn't have just fallen asleep up on the mountain, could he? Maybe after dinner I'll go take a look. Overseer Wang waves it off. He never liked Stone anyway. Sun's already down, the mountain's dangerous at night. If he wants to sleep, let him sleep. If a spirit beast gets him, serves him right. I quietly let out a breath of relief. As long as Overseer Wang drops it, the servant hall won't start a manhunt over one missing servant. But that night, I can't sleep at all. Every time I close my eyes, Stone comes for me in my dreams, his body dripping with golden light, screaming for my life. I jolt awake, drenched in cold sweat. The moment I drift off again, the nightmare pulls me back under. But the worst part, I dream of Master Zen. His face is cold as ice, whispering in my ear. Stone was taken down with a woodcutter's axe, using a woodcutter's technique. Only someone who chops wood every day could land blow after blow in the exact same spot. In the dream, his expression twists from cold to monstrous, like a devil that can see straight into my soul. I wake up screaming, wiping the sweat off my forehead. I don't dare close my eyes again. Taking someone out for the first time. The shock of it hits harder than I expected at 11 years old. But I know the truth. If I had not dealt with him, he would have done something far worse. I had no choice. Better to cultivate. I sit cross-legged on the floor. Only by pouring everything into training can I push the fear aside. The next day, at the first light of dawn, Overseer Wang pushes open Stone's door. Empty. His face shifts. He immediately rounds up all 9 of us servants. Stone is missing. Everyone drops their assignments today. Head into the North Mountain and search. I want him found, alive or dead. Hao and I exchange a glance. Without a word, we both head in the direction of yesterday's scene. The whole point is to keep others away. We loop back and forth near the area, redirecting anyone who wanders too close. The whole group searches the mountain all day and finds nothing. Stone's axe and wheelbarrow have vanished without a trace. By the time we come back down, things have escalated. Overseer Wang has already called in 2 servant hall enforcers, Master Zen and Master Dust. They question every servant one by one. When my turn comes, the sky is almost dark. How is your relationship with Stone? Master Zen's eyes narrow to slits, boring straight into my eyes like he can read my soul. How could I have a problem with Stone? I put on my most innocent face and start weaving a mix of truth and lies. When I first arrived, it was Stone who took me up the mountain to chop wood. He taught me how to spot poisonous plants, how to swing an axe properly. Honestly, he seemed rough around the edges at first, but once you got to know him, he was decent. Were you in the mountain yesterday? Master Zen presses. Yes, but not for wood. I was out west planting trees. I play the victim while I am at it. The last batch all died. Master Zen was kind enough to lend me 100 contribution points. I will not be able to pay that back for a while. At those words, the tension in Master Zen's expression eases just slightly. It is cold now. Wait until spring to replant. The survival rate will be much better. You do not think something really happened to Stone, do you? I ask, acting curious. Master Zen's answer sends a chill through me. His life tablet has shattered. He is gone. He continues, Stone and the Hallmaster were from the same hometown. The Hallmaster wants answers no matter what, so there is that connection too. My stomach drops, but I keep the worried look on my face. You do not think a spirit beast got him, do you? You can head back. If you find anything, tell me. Understood. I get up and leave. Back at the quarters, I find Hao immediately, and we compare everything we said, making sure our stories line up with no gaps. Only then do I feel slightly less like I'm going to collapse. And just like that, the whole thing quietly dies. A full year passes without anyone bringing it up again. Until the second spring, when the azure elm trees on the north slope have all been cleared, and we move our work to the eastern forest. Someone finds it in a remote corner, a wheelbarrow that was not fully burned, and an old woodcutting axe with Stone's name carved right into the blade. The old case is ripped back open, but no one except me knows where Stone's remains actually are, not even Hao. The matter is quickly reported to the outer sect discipline hall, but they have zero interest in what happens to one servant, and they kick the problem right back. Inside the servant hall, the hallmaster's meaty fist slams down with a thunderous crash. The force of his chi cultivation stage 9 shatters the table to splinters. Every roll of fat on his furious face is trembling. Hallmaster, please calm down. Master Zen suggests quietly. Why not borrow the chi sensing disc from the treasure pavilion? Go handle it. Master Zen returns quickly with the disc. The hallmaster leads both enforcers back to where the axe was found. He channels his chi. The disc absorbs the residual energy from the axe and the wheelbarrow, and the needle hums to life, pointing straight west. The three of them follow the needle all the way to the western mountain. Hao and I had already planted this entire hillside with lush, thriving azure elm trees. The moment they step into the forest, the disc in the hallmaster's hand erupts with waves of light. Right here, dig! Master Zen does not hesitate. He drops to his knees and claws at the earth with his bare hands. He does not have to go deep. A filth-covered fragment of bone emerges from the soil. Then more. Stone's remains, scattered beneath the trees all around them. The hallmaster is shaking with rage, his voice forced out through clenched teeth. Whose section is this mountain? Meanwhile, back at the woodcutting yard, after a full year of grinding, Hao and I had scraped together enough contribution points for 7 rounds of spirit medicine. But Hao only used 1 dose. After that, he refused to touch the stuff again. Said he would rather live an ordinary life than go through that kind of agony one more time. He handed me everything that was left. Now, 6 rounds of medicine later, I have already completed 8 core refinements. Each of my 5 spirit roots has grown strong enough to match a single element peak spirit root. With all 5 combined, my cultivation speed is now on par with a heavenly spirit root. 1 more core refinement and I will surpass even the heavenly spirit root entirely. My cultivation level has naturally climbed to early chi cultivation stage 4. Knock knock knock, someone is at my door. It is Master Zen. Come with me. His face gives nothing away. He leads me straight toward the western mountain. The sky is pitch black, the hillside swallowed in darkness. He brings me to an azure elm tree, picks up a fragment of bone from the ground, and shoves it right in my face. Why did you eliminate Stone? Master Zen, I do not know what you mean. My stomach lurches, but I keep the act going. Drop it. Without own you are the only one who had dealings with Stone. If not you, then who? I refuse to budge. It really was not me. You can keep denying it. Master Zen gives a cold smile. But once the hallmaster traces it back to you, even if you are innocent, you will not walk away clean. I catch the meaning underneath those words immediately. Master Zen, what exactly are you saying? This afternoon the hallmaster used the chi sensing disc and traced it here. He asked me who was responsible for this section. I told him I forgot. That hits me like a fist to the chest. Right now he is back at the servant hall going through the records. Master Zen's tone lands like a final warning. It will not take long before he finds your name. Master Zen, what do I do? I still have not admitted anything, but the desperation in my voice says everything. The servant hall just received a task from an elder. They need a servant to serve as sword attendant to his core disciple. 3 years. Your age and cultivation level are a perfect match. If you get selected and go to the intersect, the hallmaster cannot touch you. What is a sword attendant? Basically a human punching bag, there to spar with someone else's sword practice. Master Zen says it straight. 1 wrong move and you could be cut down hard. Are you willing to go? I am. No hesitation. Stay here and I am finished. Go. And at least there is a chance. Here is your transfer order. Master Zen hands me a slip of paper. Go to Qingshuan Peak in the intersect. Find Master Ling. I take the order without a word. I bow deeply, then turn and disappear into the dark. Master Zen watches me go and lets out a quiet sigh. Good luck. The next day, by midday, I have pushed through the night, 120 miles on foot. I finally reach the base of Qingshuan Peak. I climb to the top. A grand courtyard opens before me, filled with the sharp ring of a sword. I push the gate open. Inside, a girl in elegant robes is training with a blade. Her movements are fluid, but every strike hides a lethal edge. Each swing trails ribbons of light, wrapped in a bone-chilling sword intent. Who are you? She spots me and spins around instantly. She slashes through the air at range. A razor-sharp wave of sword chi tears through the space between us, cold and vicious. The distance dulls its force, but the shockwave of wind still stings my face like a slap. I am Zane, the new sword attendant. Is Master Ling available? I scramble to pull out my transfer order, praying she does not swing again. My master brought you here to spar with me. The girl sheathes her sword and looks me over. Then she tosses her long sword straight at me. A low-grade spirit weapon with no sharpened edge. How is your swordsmanship, she asks. I do not know how to use a sword, I answer honestly. She immediately looks up toward the second floor. Master Ling, the sword attendant you found is useless. He does not even know how to hold a sword. How is he supposed to spar with me? From the second floor, a white-haired old man steps out, graceful and unhurried. Ha ha! No matter. You can teach him. The girl presses her lips together and turns to me. My name is Lyra, Superior Spirit Root, Chi Cultivation Stage 3. And you? Zane, 5-Element Junk Root, Early Chi Cultivation Stage 4. Lyra blinks. My cultivation is actually higher than hers. She narrows her eyes. How old are you? 12. That shuts the room down. Not just Lyra, even Master Ling upstairs goes quiet. Young man, how is it possible that a 5-Element Junk Root has reached Chi Cultivation Stage 4 at your age? I used a lot of pills. I throw out the first excuse that comes to mind. Your cultivation is higher than mine? You had better go easy on me. Lyra is genuinely a little rattled. Master Ling just laughs. Lyra, you have a superior spirit root. Your cultivation speed is hundreds of times faster than his. You need him to hold back? After that, Lyra begins teaching me a basic sword art called the Frost Wind Sword Art. 1 hour later, I have barely memorized the forms, but I cannot grasp the core of it at all. Lyra's patience runs out fast. Move faster, keep your arm steady, strike with intent. Every single mistake I make, her spirit whip cracks across my body with a sharp snap. By the end of the day, I am covered in welts, black and purple from head to toe. If my Chi Cultivation Stage 4 body were not tough enough, she would have seriously injured me already. That night, I drag myself back to my room, sit cross-legged, and begin healing. At this rate, she's going to break me eventually. I wonder, can the Nameless Scroll help with sword arts? On impulse, I take the Nameless Scroll from my chest and write on the first page with a brush, Frost Wind Sword Art. Frost Wind Sword Art. A low-grade sword art. To unlock its full potential, one must master Frost Sword Intent. Only then can this art reach its peak. The next instant, a detailed sword manual blooms across the page, illustrations and all. I look toward the silhouette posed in a sword stance inside the book, and it moves. The figure runs through every move of the Frost Wind Sword Art from start to finish. When it is done, the silhouette transforms into a single crystalline snowflake, lifts off the page and sinks directly into my forehead. I close my eyes. I can feel it clearly. A perfect silhouette moving without end through my soul sea, running the Frost Wind Sword Art over and over. The sword in its hand radiates a killing cold. Every single move carries an intent that makes the spirit recoil. This is will, a will that can make you afraid before the blade even moves. I am pulled in completely. As the figure in my soul sea keeps practicing, my understanding of the sword art accelerates at a terrifying rate. The next morning, I am up before dawn, waiting in the courtyard with my sword. You are surprisingly eager. Lyra shuffles out, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. Lyra, I have already mastered the sword art you taught me yesterday. Really? Show me. She looks completely unconvinced. I grip the hilt, and in an instant a bone-deep chill radiates off my entire body. The temperature around us drops sharply. My steps are featherlight, my body drifting like a ghost, the sword tracing soft arcs of light through the air, threads of frost curling and winding along the blade like living mist. You actually mastered Frost Sword Intent overnight? Lyra leaps straight down from the second floor, cutting me off mid-form. I just ran it through my head all night in my mind, and it clicked. Spar with me. Lyra is not having it. She snatches up her own sword, launches at me like a bolt of lightning. My eyes sharpen. I step back, swing my arm. A blast of frost sword chi shoots out and crashes into her strike head-on. Ice shards explode between us. Lyra's attacks come in waves, her form weaving through swirling frost, sending slash after slash of sword chi crossing in every direction, sweeping toward me like a tide. One of them clips my left shoulder. The skin does not break, but the cold bites straight in, and my entire left arm goes numb. I pull in a deep breath and pour every bit of chi I have into the sword. I unleash the final move of the Frost Wind Sword Art, Frost Silence. A massive wave of pale white sword chi sweeps out, slamming into Lyra's attack head-on. Boom! The courtyard shakes with the impact. My higher cultivation level gives me the edge. One strike and her defense shatters. Lyra's expression collapses. She tries to dodge, too late. The sword chi grazes her robes and leaves a shallow cut on her shoulder. She stumbles back several steps, staring at me, fury and disbelief written all over her face. You dare to hurt me? She is seething, eyes locked on me. My left shoulder has also taken a hit from Lyra's sword chi. The internal injury is no joke, but she has it worse. Her fine robes are already stained with blood, the cut on her shoulder clean and clear. My stomach drops. I did not mean to. One look at my nervous face and something shifts in Lyra's eyes. She actually smiles. If my master finds out you injured me, what do you think he would do to you? I go quiet. This is obviously a threat. I can keep this between us. Lyra steps closer. She lowers her voice. But you have to promise me one thing. Say it. She leans in close. She leans in close, almost at my ear, her breath soft, but the words that follow are cold as steel. From now on, no sword intent, especially when my master is watching. You play dumb. I read her instantly. She is afraid Master Ling will notice my talent and take his attention away from her. Fine. I agree without missing a beat. Then I pivot immediately. But you have to promise me something too. Go ahead. Lyra's eyes sharpen like blades. Clearly not happy. When we spar from now on, you cannot use sword intent either, and you cannot injure me. Lyra lets out a sharp laugh, dripping with sarcasm. A grown man scared of getting hurt by me? But she still nods. A deal. She sheathes her sword and heads back to her room to recover. The moment she is alone, she pulls off her robe and stares at the cut on her shoulder. Her jaw is clenched. Eyes blazing. Zane. Just you wait. She lost because of cultivation level, but she has a superior spirit root. Her training speed is hundreds of times faster than mine, she tells herself. The moment she breaks through to Chi cultivation stage 4, she is going to make me pay. Outside of sparring, I push my own training just as hard. My progress is accelerating by the day. In just 1 month, I have already hit the peak of Chi cultivation stage 4. The bottleneck had been loose for a while, but I am deliberately holding myself back, terrified of exposing my secret. Then, Lyra's voice comes through the door. Her injury has healed. Zane, get out here. Time to train. Today I am teaching you a mid-grade sword art. The Jade Wave sword art. Watch closely. She runs through the form. Her sword shimmers, every movement hiding a lethal edge. For me right now, picking up the stances is easy. I am already planning. Tonight I will open the nameless scroll and the sword intent will be mine within hours. After a few practice rounds with her, Lyra reaches into her storage pouch and pulls out a pouch of contribution points. From Master Ling, 500 points. I actually smile for the first time in a while. 500 contribution points a month. This is a completely different life from the woodcutting yard. The moment I have the payment, I take a half day off and head straight to the outer sect treasure pavilion. What do you need? A servant attendant eyes me sideways. Do you have any secret arts for concealing cultivation level? The attendant lets out a scoffing laugh, voice dripping with contempt. You, a servant, wanting to hide your cultivation? Breath concealment art. Low-grade secret art. 400 contribution points. He assumes I am just asking. No way I can afford it. How much for a storage pouch? I ask next. Low grade is 500. Mid-grade is 1000. One low grade. I drop the contribution points on the counter. Back at my room, I immediately tuck the nameless scroll from my chest into the storage pouch. Then I take out brush and paper and write on the scroll, Breath Concealment Art and Jade Wave Sword Art. Light pulses across the pages. Both the secret art and the sword art flood into my mind in an instant. With the Breath Concealment Art in hand, I can finally break through without fear. My focus shifts inward. I release the restraint. Chi surges from my meridian core in a violent rush, crashing through me in wave after wave. A purer, more concentrated chi condenses inside me. Strength, perception, vitality, everything spikes at once. Early chi cultivation stage 5. I immediately activate the breath concealment art and lock my aura down, keeping it masked at stage 4. The next day, my sparring sessions with Lyra resume. Without sword intent and without injuring each other, our sparring looks like two children playing pretend. Then Master Ling comes back and takes one look. His face goes dark on the spot. Lyra, in 2 months you will be sparring against Elder Tongshuan's disciple. Every word is a warning. Keep training like this and you will embarrass me in front of everyone. Lyra hangs her head like a child who knows she is in trouble. Then Master Ling pulls a piece of armor from his storage pouch and tosses it to me. This is the Dark Iron Vest, a low-grade spirit weapon. I will be using sword intent from now on. I will try not to cause serious damage. I understand his position. All I can do is put on the vest and take it. By the end of the day I am covered in deep internal injuries. His ice element sword intent targets the organs directly. That night I am sitting in my room channeling chi to heal when the door eases open. It is Lyra. Zane, it is me. She keeps her voice barely above a whisper, terrified of being heard upstairs. What do you want? I am already irritated. If you were not holding back your cultivation, not to mention your sword intent, he could not have touched you. This is the 9 Refinements body art. A high-grade secret art. It strengthens the physical body. She sets a manual on my bed. Train with it. You will stop taking internal damage so easily. Do not let my master find out. She's not being kind. She wants to build me into a more durable punching bag. I take the manual. The moment she is gone, I start training. The moment the technique activates, chi storms through my body. Flesh and meridians take the full force of the impact, and I have to keep channeling my life essence to bring it under control. But to get stronger, I grit my teeth and push through. 2 months later, the day of the sparring match between Master Ling's and Elder Tongshuan's core disciples arrives. The venue is Qingshuan Peak. Master Ling hosts a banquet and invites the whole sect. Among the guests, Master Sky of Crimson Sky Cliff comes with his prize student. Tonight, as her sword attendant, I trail behind Lyra the entire evening. I watch the so-called geniuses on the stage, the ones the elders treat like national treasures, and I feel nothing but cold contempt. Pathetic. My student has only been training for 2 years. Shall we let her demonstrate a sword form to entertain everyone? Master Sky pretends to be humble. He is here to embarrass us. Ren gets the signal. She leaps onto the stage, bows, and locks her eyes straight on me. Lyra, may I borrow your sword attendant? She has had her eye on me this whole time. Fighting Lyra is a gamble, but stepping on a servant-born sword attendant? That is a guaranteed win. Lyra glances at me, then at Ren. Are you sure? If you are not willing, Lyra, then I suppose I will just have to challenge you directly. Ren smiles, sharp and deliberate. Lyra is furious. She reaches for her sword, about to jump on stage, but I grab her arm and hold her back. You want to challenge my master? You go through me first. I step onto the stage with my sword. I have been waiting for this. I told myself I would keep a low profile for 3 years, but Ren, the woman who humiliated me more times than I can count, has walked right into my hands. There is no swallowing this one. Zane, Ren sees me on stage. Her smile gets wider. I hit hard. Every sword attendant who has faced me, 10 of them, has gone down. You sure? Without a word, I reach into my storage pouch and pull out the dark iron vest Lyra gave me. I toss it at her feet. I hit hard too. You should probably put that on. My voice is pure contempt. You dare provoke me? Ren ignites. Master Sky is furious too. Ren, no need to hold back. With her master's backing, Ren draws her sword and attacks. I meet her head on. 2 blades collide. Chi explodes on impact. Her attack is weak. My sword chi blasts her back several steps. One exchange. The gap is obvious. How is this possible? You are at Chi cultivation stage 6? Ren cannot believe it. If you think my cultivation level gives me an unfair edge, just say so. I can suppress it and fight you on equal ground. The words are barely out of my mouth when my aura locks down, dropping instantly to match her level. Chi cultivation stage 4. Ren is burning. She charges again, this time pulling out her signature technique, the Azure Rainbow Sword Art. The Frost Wind Sword Art's cold edge flares to life. I launch straight up and drive the blade downward. A wave of ice and frost sword chi drops the temperature around us instantly. Clang! Frost explodes in every direction. Her Azure Rainbow Sword intent is shattered clean. Ren, sword and all, is blasted back dozens of feet and rolls right off the stage. I stand with my sword lowered. My voice is quiet, but it carries across the entire crowd. With this level of skill, you dare to challenge my master. Go home and train for a few more decades. Ren lets out a wail, and vomits a burst of golden light on the spot from sheer rage. The crowd erupts. Every elder on the stage is stunned. A servant-born sword attendant, holding back his cultivation, using a low-grade sword art, just destroyed a superior spirit root genius and her high-grade Azure Rainbow Sword Art. Impressive, Qingshuan Peak. Truly full of hidden talent. Master Sky delivers the compliment with a smile that does not reach his eyes. He jumps down to check on Ren. Master, he is supposed to be a 5-element junk root. How is he this strong? Ren is still leaking golden light. What did you say? He has a 5-element junk root? Master Sky's eyes go wide. He springs to his feet and calls across the stage. Young man, may I test your spirit root? Before I can respond, Master Ling shoots to his feet and cuts him off. You put your own student on that stage. What is this? Poor sportsmanship? You misunderstand, Ling. I only wanted to do what? Make a move on one of mine? You think I cannot see through that? Master Ling does not budge an inch. He has already recognized what I am, and he is not letting me go anywhere. Lyra, it is your turn. Master Ling changes the subject entirely. Lyra forces herself onto the stage. Her opponent, Elder Tongshuan's disciple Wei, had just watched me fight, and his legs are already shaking. After a few exchanges, he surrenders. Lyra wins, but there is nothing happy about it. All the attention, every last bit of it, was stolen by me, her own sword attendant. She returns to her seat and glares at me through clenched teeth. So you have been hiding your cultivation this whole time. No wonder I could not beat you. You have the wrong idea, I answer calmly. What do you mean? I have always been suppressing my cultivation when we spar. Same level, and you still could not touch me. Lyra is so thoroughly shut down she cannot even respond. She just rolls her eyes and turns away. The moment the banquet ends, Master Ling calls me to his room. He sends his spiritual power through my body to examine it, and the deeper he probes, the more unsettled he becomes. You truly are a 5-element root, but why is it this pure? This clarity is on par with a peak spirit root. Who taught you swordsmanship? Lyra, how long did it take you to master Frost Sword Intent? One day. Master Ling's gaze sharpens. He calls out suddenly, Lyra, come in. Outside the door, Lyra startles and steps inside. Is what he said true? Master Ling presses her. Yes. Lyra picks at her fingers. But when I watched you two spar, he never used sword intent. Why is that? I see my opening. Lyra told me my sword talent was too strong. She was afraid you would notice me, so she forbade me from showing it in front of you. I lay it all out, exactly how she threatened me. Is this true? Master Ling's expression darkens. Lyra immediately bursts into tears. Master, he injured me first. But Master Ling does not spare her a glance. He slowly crouches down until his eyes are level with mine, his gaze burning with anticipation. I am the chief elder of Qingshuan Peak, Golden Core Cultivation. Would you take me as your master? I know exactly what this means. Refuse, and I fall. A talented servant. He would never let someone like that slip into another elder's hands. This junior would be honored. I pour on the flattery, while keeping that first look of contempt he gave me locked in the back of my mind. But I am just a servant. Would taking me as your disciple not tarnish your reputation? Do not worry. Master Ling laughs. The moment you become my disciple, you are a core disciple. Every inner sect member you meet will address you as senior. This disciple Zane greets his master. I bow immediately. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Master Ling beams. Lyra, come greet your senior. Master, I joined first. Why is he senior? Lyra mutters, clearly unhappy. He is older, his cultivation is higher. Do you honestly think you qualify as his senior? Master Ling's expression flattens. Lyra dissolves into tears all over again. Master Ling gives me a mid-grade storage pouch as a welcoming gift, then hands his token to Lyra. Take your senior to register. The whole walk over, Lyra does not stop muttering under her breath. Seriously, Zane, you are a grown man. How are you this calculating? Calculating? I frown, my voice flat. I just won against Ren for you on that stage, saved your face, and you are not even thanking me. And another thing, watch how you talk to me, or I will make you regret it. I am her senior now. Lyra hears that and her whole face falls. She quickly grabs my sleeve, her voice going sickeningly sweet. Senior, do not be angry. I actually really do admire you. Looking at her face right now, all I feel is disgust. I preferred you when you were still trying to fight me. After registration is done, I go back to my room and open the gift from Master Ling. 888 spirit stones, a high-grade spirit weapon called the Autumn Sword, a high-grade sword art manual, the Stellar Phantom Sword Art, and 10 Chi Awakening Pills. I pull out the nameless scroll immediately and begin studying the new sword art. By morning, I have absorbed 1/10 of it. The next day, at the first light of dawn, I go straight to Lyra's door and knock. Get up, come spar with me. Why should I? Because I am your senior. I push the door open, grab her by the collar, and drag her out. Master Ling is away today. I will not be holding back. Hey. Lyra immediately starts bawling, but I do not give her an inch. Clang, clang. I suppress my cultivation and use only sword forms, and she still cannot land a single hit. Then suddenly she goes limp. I am too slow to pull back. A sharp burst of sword chi drives straight into her chest. So fragile. I frown, pick her up off the ground, and carry her back to her room. I cannot afford for Master Ling to get the wrong idea. I think it through, then head straight to the Inner Sect Treasure Pavilion and buy healing pills and the spirit herbs I need for the soul refinement art. Back at Qingshuan Peak, I give Lyra the pills and help her begin healing. Only once her condition stabilizes do I return to my own room and bolt the door. I grind the herbs to paste and swallow the whole thing in one go. The pain hits like being flayed alive. My hands are shaking as I run the soul refinement art over and over, until finally my 5-element spirit root reaches the level I have been chasing. Heavenly Spirit Root. My training speed from this point forward will be 5 times that of an ordinary Heavenly Spirit Root. Right then, Master Ling's voice echoes from the courtyard. Zane, Lyra, your master is back. Lyra and I both head out to greet him. The moment Lyra sees Master Ling, she points at me and bursts into sobs. Master, he bullied me while you were gone. What kind of behavior is this, crying all the time? Master Ling lets out a heavy snort, clearly unimpressed by Lyra's tears. Then he calls over to me. Zane, go comfort your junior. Without waiting for a response, he heads into the kitchen carrying a fire-patterned tiger. Profound-grade spirit beast meat is not easy to prepare. He has to handle that himself. The moment he is gone, I step toward Lyra. I do not bother hiding the look on my face. My eyes cut into her like a blade. Lyra stumbles back, rattled by my presence alone. Easy now, stop crying. I smile, and it is not a kind smile. Your senior hates to see you hurt. That smile scares her out of her mind. She screams and bolts back to her room. Not long after, it is midday. At the table, Master Ling cuts out the fire-patterned tiger's heart and places it directly in my bowl. Zane, you need to build up your constitution. Eat plenty of this. It will strengthen your foundation. Beside me, Lyra is pouting so hard her lips might fall off. Master Ling, I set down my chopsticks and ask carefully, I would like to bring someone from the servant hall to serve as my sword attendant. Of course, Master Ling answers without a second thought. Take my token. Transfer them directly. Thank you, Master. Lyra's eyes light up the moment she hears this. Finally, I never have to spar with you again. Master Ling turns to her. The sect ranking exam is coming up. You finished last year at the bottom, this time, top 20. Lyra feels something she has not felt from him in a while, and immediately pounds her chest. Master, I will not let you down, top 20, guaranteed. Master Ling manages a small smile, and says nothing more. After the meal, I take the elder's token and head straight for the servant hall. The one on duty is Slag himself. One look at my inner disciple robes and my stage 6 cultivation, and he immediately shrinks, bowing and scraping as he comes forward. I did not know a senior would be gracing us with a visit. What can I do for you? He could not possibly imagine that the person standing in front of him is the very enemy he has been hunting. Zane, I do not waste words. I pull out the token. How from the woodcutting yard? I am transferring him as my sword attendant. Slag blinks, quickly flips through the roster, and finally finds the name. Please, senior, have a seat. Let me pour you some tea. He serves me with both hands. I will bring him to you right away. He mounts his flying sword and shoots toward the woodcutting yard in a streak of light. 10 breaths later, Slag drops from the sky into the woodcutting yard. Which one of you is How? He barks, voice sharp as a whip. How is so startled his axe slips out of his hands. He scrambles to his knees. I am How, Hallmaster. Someone from Qingshuan Peak in the Inner Sect has asked for you by name. Pack your things and come with me. Slag keeps it short. How goes completely blank, his face draining white. Hallmaster, what did I do wrong? Being a sword attendant is dangerous. His best friend Zane had disappeared that way. Stop talking, you have not done anything wrong. Someone specifically requested you. Slag snaps impatiently. But Hall Master, I do not want to take that risk. Hao wraps himself around Slag's leg and starts wailing. I am warning you, that senior has no patience for this. If you annoy them, you will not make it through today. At that moment, Overseer Wang steps over and pulls Hao off the ground. We do not mess with inner sect elites. Go. It might even be a good thing. Overseer Wang, save me. Zane is gone. I am the hardest worker here. Put in a good word for me. Hao latches onto his leg and refuses to let go. That is it. Slag's patience runs out completely. He snaps his flying sword to his feet, rockets straight to Hao, grabs him by the shoulder and hauls him into the air, flying him straight back to the servant hall. Senior, your person has arrived. Slag dumps Hao at my feet like a sack of garbage. Hao is absolutely terrified. He grabs onto my leg and starts sobbing. Please, I will do anything. Just do not make me be a sword attendant. I shake my head and sigh. Hao, you are a man. Real men bleed. They do not sob. That name. That voice. Hao goes completely rigid. He snaps his head up and stares at my face. Zane, you, Hao, you are alive? His eyes look like they might fall out of his head. It is a long story. I help him up. Master Ling recognized my potential and took me as his core disciple. Hao reaches out and touches the fine silk of my robe, speechless for a long moment. Finally, he squeezes out 3 words. You made it. Going forward, you are officially my sword attendant on paper, but in reality, just focus on your cultivation. No one will dare touch you. I pat him on the shoulder. Right then, a cold voice cuts in. You are Zane? It is Slag. He is staring at me, something wrong in his expression. That is me. Something you need? I meet his eyes without flinching. The servant from the woodcutting yard. I nod. His voice drops lower. There is ice in it now. You are the one who eliminated my kinsman, Stone. Yes. The air freezes. Why did you do it? Slag's face is dark enough to drip. He came after me. In the heat of the moment, I dealt with him. My voice is calm, like I am discussing something completely unremarkable. I am certain he will not make a move here, and I am right. Slag stares me down, his fists cracking, and then deflates like a punctured balloon. He forces the words through his teeth. Well, guess he had it coming. Then his face snaps into a grin. Ha, ha, ha. The next day, the moment Master Zane and Master Dust return, Slag immediately tracks down Master Dust. Is Zane really a 5-element junk root? You are sure you did not misread it? Absolutely certain, Hall Master. I examined him myself, used a verification stone to confirm his talent is as bad as it gets. Slag's eyes go cold. That is exactly the point. Stone only ever went after people with nothing going for them. The fact that he targeted Zane means there has to be something enormous hidden on that kid. A junk root reaching Chi cultivation stage 6 in 1 year. That is simply impossible. The thought takes hold, and greed flickers through Slag's eyes. He mounts his flying sword immediately, shooting straight for Crimson Sky Cliff in the inner sect. He needs to see his patron, his ancestor, Elder Stone. Crimson Sky Cliff, a private courtyard. Ancestor, I have urgent news. Slag stands respectfully at the entrance. Inside, 2 golden core cultivators are playing chess. One is Master Sky, the chief elder of Crimson Sky Cliff, and the other is Slag's ancestor, Elder Stone. Speak. Elder Stone does not look up. A kid showed up at the servant hall, 12 years old, 5-element junk root, currently at Chi cultivation stage 6. The words are barely out when both elders freeze mid-move and snap their heads toward him. Are you talking about a kid named Zane? Master Sky says, his voice flat and sharp. You know him, Elder? Slag is stunned. Recently, at the banquet, he injured my prize student. Master Sky bites the words out. Slag's heart leaps. He leans right in. Ancestor, this same person eliminated my kinsman Stone a year ago. There has to be a great secret on him. A 5-element junk root at stage 6. Elder Stone's eyes flash. When the time is right, I will bring him in, conduct a soul search, and everything will become clear. No need to dirty our hands. Master Sky places a chess piece and smiles like the game is already won. In 3 months comes the autumn trial. My disciple Rex will take care of him for us. Perfect. Elder Stone gives a slow nod. Master Ling is not someone to provoke directly. Better to let the younger ones handle it. Meanwhile, back at my quarters on Qingshuan Peak, Hao has become my shadow. He follows me everywhere. I finish a full run-through of the stellar phantom sword art. Sword chi cutting in every direction. Beautiful! Hao cheers from the sidelines. I sheathe my sword and look at him. Hao, you cannot keep drifting like this. I am already at stage 7. You are still at stage 2. Want to do another round of core refinement? Hao goes pale on the spot. He shakes his head like his life depends on it. No. Living is enough. I am not going through that again. Fine, I sigh. I will ask Master Ling to get you an easy post at the Spirit Herb Hall. I am perfectly happy right here, he mumbles, picking at the stones beneath his feet. I leave him to it and go back to training. With pill support, reaching stage 9 within a year is no challenge at all. The moment I am gone, Hao has nothing to do, so he wanders over to watch Lyra train. Your swordsmanship is incredible. Get out of here. Stop bothering me. Lyra snaps. With nowhere to go, Hao wanders aimlessly around Qingxuan Peak. Before long, a sweet fragrance catches him, pulling him toward a cave halfway up the mountain. Just outside the entrance is a flower garden, every bloom competing for attention, every single one a spirit plant. Hao is completely enchanted. He reaches for the brightest flower, a heart-seducing orchid. Do not touch it. It is poisonous. A soft voice behind him. Hao spins around and sees a girl with delicate, clear features, dressed in outer sect robes, but with an air that is gentle and quietly beautiful. The sap will rot your skin, she warns again. Hao awkwardly pulls his hand back, scratching his head with a sheepish grin. Thank you for the warning. What is your name? Yum. Is this your cultivation chamber? Hao scrambles for something to say. A flicker of resignation crosses Yun's face. How would an outer disciple like me end up living here? Same as you. I had no choice. No choice? You were forced into this? Hao immediately lights up. Wait right here. My brother is a core disciple of Master Ling. I will get him to help you. No, you misunderstood. Yun grabs his arm quickly, her cheeks flushing. I am Wei's special constitution. You do not need to make an enemy of him on my behalf. And with that, her face completely red, she turns and disappears into the chamber, the door shutting with a slam. Hao stands there frozen, his mind stuck on just two things, forced and special constitution. He sprints back to my room, like something is on fire. Zane, quick, do something for me, go save someone. I listen to the whole story and frown. How? I think she went willingly. If she were actually being forced, she would have run by now. But Hao refuses to hear it. He drags me out by sheer stubbornness. Lyra is training at the door and happens to hear everything. She lets out a sharp snort. I know what his special constitution is. Talk. I step closer, and something in my expression makes her flinch. She speaks reluctantly. Master Ling had one before. Just a vessel. Used and discarded. The woman eventually escaped while he was away. Hao panics even more. Someone like Yun. How could she ever willingly be someone's vessel? He drags me back to the cave. Yun, open up. I brought someone to help you. The door slowly opens. Yun stands in the entrance. Behind her is a pale-faced young man. Wei, you misunderstood. I am here willingly. Yun looks down as she speaks. But you literally said you had no choice. I was just saying that. Yun's face goes even redder. Behind her, Wei has finally had enough. He roars at us. 1 chi awakening pill a month. Fair exchange. None of your business. He yanks Yun back inside, and the door slams shut. Then, sounds from inside. Wei's angry voice. Yun's pleading. That is enough to make Hao's face go completely red. He claps his hands over his ears and runs. The next morning, Hao bursts into my room, eyes red. Saying I want to continue. Core refinement. Something has clicked for him. What drives him now is not sympathy. It is the shame he felt yesterday, and something far more primal. I hand him a few spirit stones. Within moments, screams of agony start pouring out of Hao's room. I stand guard outside, keeping everyone away. Lyra is drawn over by the noise, curiosity getting the better of her. What is wrong with him? Do not worry about it. I seize the moment. The 9 refinements body art you gave me? Why did I hit a wall at body tempering level 1? Lyra's eyes light up. I will tell you. What is in it for me? I give a cold smile. In 2 months, the intersect trial begins. When we enter 10,000 Beast Valley, would you rather go in without my cover? That gets her talking. To push the body training faster, you need supporting medicine. Without it, pure training alone could take years to show any progress. Once Hao pushes through the core refinement, I head straight to the treasure pavilion. The same attendant receives me. I need body tempering spirit herbs. Of course, dragon origin fruit, jade ginseng, thunderbolt bamboo. He rattles off a long list, one of each. Actually, senior, pills RK even better. For instance, the bone refinement pill, add 1. That comes to 800 spirit stones. My stomach drops. That is almost everything I have. The bone refinement pill is a 3rd grade pill worth 600 spirit stones on its own. Oh, normally only foundation building cultivators buy them, the attendant adds. Each herb 1 by 1. Sure enough, many of the expensive ones barely do anything. Only jade ginseng, thunderbolt bamboo, and cloud lotus show real results on physical strength. After absorbing all the herbs, my body reaches body tempering level 2. Then I take the bone refinement pill, the one that costs 600 spirit stones, and push just barely to body tempering level 3. Going further means spending a lot more, so I head straight to the spirit herb hall and find Moss. Zane, you are wearing intersect robes now? Moss steps closer, and immediately feels the pressure coming off me. His expression shifts. He quickly corrects himself. Congratulations, senior. I get to the point. I am taking over your plots from now on. I want cloud lotus, jade ginseng, and thunderbolt bamboo exclusively. Moss counts on his fingers. His face goes pale. Senior, the overhead on that would be 10 million contribution points. I will handle the contribution points. You just plant. I make the call directly. 3,000 contribution points a year as your wage. Deal or no deal? Deal. Absolutely. Moss nods immediately. Let me finish the current harvest. Come spring, I will get yours planted. Deal done. I head back to Master Ling's residence. Now comes a new problem. I need 10 million contribution points before next spring. 1 spirit stone equals 200 points. That is 50,000 spirit stones. I go to Master Ling for advice. The answer is simple. In the inner sect, the only way to earn a large number of spirit stones fast is to take the sect's most dangerous and most rewarding missions. I need spirit stones. A lot of them. So I stand in front of the mission board at the Inquiry Tower, covered from top to bottom in scrolls, each one representing a payout. I had my eye on an escort mission. 10,000 spirit stones. Very tempting, but a few foundation-building cultivators are blocking the way like a wall. Their pressure makes it hard to breathe. I can only watch as a muscular man tears the scroll away, fury burning in my chest. Once they are gone, the pickings left on the board are slim. Then, a new posting catches everyone's eye. Eliminate the demonic cultivator known as the Phantom. Chiwai Cultivation Stage 8. Reward, 8,000 spirit stones. The Phantom is Stage 8. No one can handle that alone. What do you say we team up? A middle-aged man reeking of alcohol, a gourd of wine swinging from his belt, calls out. A woman with a longbow on her back immediately responds. Works for me. 8,000 split 2 ways. My opening. Room for one more? I step forward. They both turn and pause when they see me. A kid, maybe 12 or 13. The woman, Sky, sizes me up and smiles. Of course, Stage 7 at your age? Impressive. Peak spirit root, I am guessing? She is trying to win my favor. I just smile and say nothing. Before we go any further, the drunk, Surge, cuts her off, dead serious. The 8,000 spirit stones from the sect, plus everything on the Phantom after we take him down. Split 3 ways, equal shares. Sky and I nod at the same time. No one here is naive. Surge, Chiwai Cultivation Stage 7, Hammer User. Sky, Stage 8, Bow User. Zane, Stage 7, Sword User. 3 people against a Stage 8 Demonic Cultivator. The odds sound favorable. We take the mission and move without delay. Straight south toward the Azure Cloud Mountains. This is lawless territory. Spiritual energy is thin. Bandits everywhere. Refugees from the mortal world scattered throughout. The Phantom feeds on their souls to cultivate. Surge, why not just go to the mortal world and feed freely there? I cannot help asking. Heh! Surge grins. A cultivator cut off from spiritual energy loses their cultivation. Otherwise, the mortal world would already be a feeding ground. Before long, we locate the cave marked on the mission scroll. Empty inside. Sky has the highest cultivation. One sweep of her spiritual sense confirms it. He is out. If we wait inside, he will sense us the moment he returns. Sky frowns. A Stage 8 cultivator's spiritual sense is nothing to underestimate. So what do we do? Surge asks. I can set up a concealment array at the entrance, mask our presence completely. Sky glances at us both. But the spirit stones for the array. Equal split between us all. Of course. I agree first. Surge nods too. Sky gets to work, pulling out a dozen or so spirit stones. Her fingers moving with practiced speed, pressing out seal after seal. A low hum, and a curtain of light seals us in. From outside there's nothing here. A full day passes without a single sign of movement. The intel better be right. Surge is getting restless. Keep waiting. Sky swaps in a new batch of spirit stones. Arrays burn through resources. 2 more days crawl by. We have already burned through over 100 spirit stones. Finally, on the 3rd night, I am on watch when I catch something moving. I wake the other 2 immediately. In the moonlight, a black-robed figure wearing a demon face mask is walking toward the cave. The dark energy radiating off him is palpable even from a distance. This is the Phantom. In his hand is a rope, strung with 6 skeletal mortals and a cultivator in sect robes, only Chi Cultivation Stage 3, being dragged limply along the ground, leaving a trail behind. The sight ignites something in me. This is disgusting. Rush him, all of us now. I am already moving, but Surge grabs me hard and yanks me back. Do not. Wait until he is inside. If he bolts, we lose him. He hisses the warning. Just then the Phantom seems to catch something in the air. He pauses, tilts his head, sniffs. Beneath the mask his mouth curls into something unsettling. He does not linger. He forms a hand seal, opens the stone door, and drags his offerings inside. After a moment, Surge and I slip in quietly after him. Sky had planned to fire from outside, but the cave twists and turns too much to get a clear shot, so she follows us in. The moment Sky steps through, the stone door slams shut behind her. A cold, hollow laugh rolls through the chamber. Then, the entire cave blazes with golden light. Hidden array lines ignite across every surface. Floor, walls, ceiling, wrapping us completely. A freezing cold seeps into my body instantly. I can feel my chi and focus being pulled out of me by the golden light. It is a soul-refining array. He turned the entire cave into a trap. Move now. Sky reacts first. There is a trace of real fear in her voice. Stall any longer and all 3 of us will be drained to husks. Surge and I catch on immediately. We both summon our spirit weapons and charge the shadowed figure. The Phantom finally turns. A short dagger appears in his hand. His movements are so fast he looks like a ghost, gliding through the golden light. Stee! A flash of cold steel grazes my neck, trailing a streak of golden light behind it. If my body were not this durable, that would have taken my head clean off. Surge, watch out! Sky's powerful spiritual sense reads the Phantom's next move and shouts the warning. But the Phantom is already behind Surge before the words finish. Surge spins, swings the hammer, but the Phantom bends backward like he has no bones at all, dodging clean, and blurs straight toward Sky. He knows she is the biggest threat. Sky is a ranged fighter. Get close and she is helpless. Her spiritual sense tracks him, but her body cannot keep up. She turns and runs. In an instant, Sky is backed against the sealed stone door with nowhere left to go. Thud. The poison-laced dagger drives into her back without mercy. Now. I seize the opening the moment his attack lands and swing. A horizontal blade of sword chi cuts across. The Phantom is forced to pull the dagger free. His defensive spirit weapon flares to life. My sword chi strikes it, just barely cracking through his guard, but not reaching him. My sword intent is not sharp enough yet. Die! Surge roars and charges in, the hammer screaming through the air. The Phantom crosses his arms and takes it, pushed back a few steps, but completely untouched. Then, Sky, through the agony, reaches into her quiver, grabs an arrow, and drives it backward into the Phantom's lower back with every bit of chi she has left, nearly the mirror image of where she was struck. The Phantom howls in pain. He takes Surge's hammer blow on the shoulder and forces his way out of our circle. He puts distance between us, forms a seal with both hands and accelerates the array. The mortals he dragged in, their faces drain from pale to purple, then from purple to gray. The light in their eyes goes out one by one. Empty shells. We cannot hold on. Our chi is nearly gone. Surge is gasping, barely staying upright. I pull in a deep breath. No more holding back. Stellar Phantom Sword Art, Starfall. The Autumn Sword erupts, splitting into over 60 streams of sword chi in an instant, raining down like a storm across every inch of space the Phantom occupies, leaving him nowhere to go. The Phantom is forced to abandon the array, throwing up his body shield chi to block. At that exact moment, Sky closes her eyes. She draws her bow. Her powerful spiritual sense locks onto the Phantom's exact position. Whoosh, the arrow cuts through the air. At the precise moment the Phantom's body shield chi is worn to its thinnest by the sword rain. The arrow drives straight through his chest. With the Phantom down, the golden light slowly fades from the chamber. But the mortals, and the Stage 3 cultivator, are already gone. I finally exhale, thinking it is over. But no one sees it coming. Surge, standing right beside Sky, gives us all a brutal surprise. He swings his massive hammer and slams it into the back of Sky's skull, while Sky is channeling chi to heal, completely defenseless. A sickening thud. The hammer connects full force. Sky does not even get a chance to react. He drops dead on the spot. What are you doing? My mind goes blank. I demand an answer. Surge smiles, a twisted, ugly grin. He was injured. Take care of him and we split the rewards between 2 instead of 3. Simple, right? He adds, cool as ice. The Phantom's storage pouch goes to you. Sky's goes to me. He bends down to grab Sky's storage pouch. I stand frozen, still in shock. Seeing me motionless, Surge sneers. Not interested? Then I will help myself. He straightens up and reaches for the Phantom's storage pouch. I snap out of it and rush forward, as if I'm afraid he will snatch my share. I reach the Phantom's remains and barely bend down. Whoosh! Behind me, Surge swings the hammer again. It tears through the air and crashes into my back. Boom! Another deafening blast. The entire cave shakes. I am sent flying like a ragdoll and hit the ground face down, completely still, no signs of life. Heh! Heh! Surge lets out a triumphant cackle. He starts by looting the Phantom, then walks toward me. What good is a peak spirit root if you lose to me anyway? He sneers, reaching for the storage pouch at my waist. But the moment his fingers touch the pouch, a bone-cold burst of sword chi explodes out of my body without warning. It punches straight through his chest. I had been playing dead. Surge's eyes go wide with disbelief. A mouthful of golden light sprays out. I leap to my feet, completely unharmed. That hammer blow could not even crack my body-tempering level 3 defense. Sky catches a flash of cold light and thrusts straight at Surge. Hit by the mind-driven sword chi, Surge feels his chest freeze from the inside. Even swinging his hammer takes 3 times the effort. Wait, he forces a smile. That hit must have hurt you too. Let us call it even. What do you say? I answer with action. My eyes are ice. Against a backstabbing coward like this, every word is wasted. My sword strikes fast and relentless. Surge is already badly wounded. No strength to resist. A few exchanges and my blade finds his throat. I look at the 3 bodies in the cave and let out a quiet breath. So much for teamwork. I dump all 3 storage pouches, 2,000 spirit stones, a superior warhammer, a superior crossbow, and over a dozen superior arrows. But the real prize comes from the Phantom's storage pouch, a handwritten copy of the 10,000 Arrays Compendium, listing over 200 array formations with materials and instructions. There is also a damaged movement technique manual, the Phantom's Step, and inside Sky's pouch is another torn manual, the Soul Sight Art, the source of his extraordinary spiritual sense. I do not linger. I sever the Phantom's head and head straight back to report. 8,000 spirit stones collected. Add the 2,000 I just seized, and I now have 10,000 total, but that is still not enough. Back at Master Ling's chamber, I pull out the nameless scroll. The 10,000 arrays compendium, the phantom step, the soul sight art, every damaged and incomplete technique, fed into the nameless scroll, comes out as a flawless, complete version. In an instant, I have mastered over 200 array formations, a top-tier movement technique, and a method to endlessly strengthen my spiritual sense. But I am still broke. Thinking back on how close this mission came to killing me, I still feel a chill. If my body were any weaker, I would have died. I refuse to gamble like that again. I stare at the 10,000 arrays compendium sitting on the table, and an idea hits me. Sell array diagrams. I copy all 200 plus formations one by one and head straight to the treasure pavilion. What is the going rate for a mountain trap array diagram? The clerk lights up the moment he sees me. For a superior grade array diagram, the standard price is 200 spirit stones each. I ask about the twin kill array. Mid-grade, 100 spirit stones. Good. Now I know what I am working with. I turn and leave. Near the border between the inner and outer disciple areas, there is a strip where disciples run their own stalls. I find an empty spot and set up a sign, Array Diagrams, Specialist. Then I sit cross-legged and start cultivating. 3 days pass, not a single customer. No rush. If nothing sells, I am still cultivating, no loss. Then on the 4th day, an outer disciple in array sect robes stops at my stall. What arrays do you have? I toss him the index from the 10,000 arrays compendium. His eyes light up. I want the 1,000 mechanisms array, the chi suppression array, and the teleportation array. How much total? 200. That cheap? He cannot believe it. These 3 cost at least 300 at the treasure pavilion. He pays up, checks the diagrams, and his face lights up with excitement. Your prices are incredible. I am spreading the word. Every array disciple I know will be lining up here. He leaves thanking me nonstop. The moment he is gone, I pull out paper and copy all 3 diagrams again. For me, this is a business with 0 cost. From that day on, I run the stall by day and train the 9 refinements body art and the soul sight art by night. Life settles into a quiet rhythm. 2 months later, my stall explodes. 7 kill array, 1 copy. I need the guardian array. Do you still have the spirit gathering array diagram? Tomorrow is the annual autumn trial. Inner disciples are panic buying anything that might keep them alive. Every other stall has sold out and shut down. Only mine has unlimited stock. Line up, one at a time. My hand cramps from copying nonstop. By the end of the day, I have earned 6,000 spirit stones. Add what I had before, and the total comes to 8,000. Still 32,000 short of my goal. It looks like the autumn trial is my only shot. That evening, Master Ling returns, a rare occasion. The 3 of us eat and drink our fill. Master Ling looks at me with a grave expression. Zane, tomorrow's autumn trial, look after Lyra. Understood, Master Ling. Then he produces an ancient-looking shield. This is the Crimson Sun Shield. A superior-grade spirit treasure. Keep it safe. Remember, staying alive is all that matters. Rankings mean nothing if you are dead. A superior spirit treasure has 10 times the power of a standard spirit weapon. With this, you are practically untouchable at your current stage. That is so unfair, Lyra mutters beside me, eyes full of envy. I ignore her and immediately begin bonding with the Crimson Sun Shield. At the same time, I quietly activate the breath concealment art, masking my cultivation level from Chi cultivation stage 8 down to stage 6. Word is the spirit beasts inside target the strongest cultivators first. I am not taking any chances. The next morning, the autumn trial officially begins. Every Chi cultivation stage disciple gathers outside a massive canyon south of 9 peaks. Inside, thick spiritual mist blankets everything. Spiritual sense cannot pierce through it. Somewhere in there, countless shadow wolves are waiting. The trial runs in waves. First to go are the 180 foundation building cultivators from the inner sect. Their mission is to take down the profound grade shadow wolf kings inside. I wait above the canyon with Lyra, Wei, and the rest of our Qingzhuan Peak disciples. I just sit cross-legged and keep cultivating. 7 days later, the sounds of battle finally go quiet. The foundation building stage trial ends. 180 went in. 175 come out. 5 did not make it. My stomach tightens. If foundation building cultivators can fall in there, this trial is no joke. A battered foundation building cultivator calls out his results to the judging elder. Main Peak disciple Jiang Yunfan, 10 Shadow Wolf Kings eliminated. Kuiwei Peak disciple Fang Zhang, 3 Shadow Wolf Kings. Jiang Yunfan takes first place with the most profound grade spirit crystals and is awarded 1 Pill Dreg's essence. Now it is our turn. The Chi cultivation stage disciples. The top foundation building prize is just 1 low-grade Pill Dreg's essence. I almost roll my eyes. What a cheap sect, handing out garbage as a first-place reward. Wei speaks up next to me in that tone that gets on my nerves. A low-grade Pill Dreg's essence is still priceless. Foundation building masters across the southern region would kill for one. From what he says, the thing is basically a failed pill. Less than 10% of its intended potency, and loaded with pill toxins. Utterly useless. Right then, the judging elder's voice booms across the field. Chi cultivation disciples, enter the canyon. At the signal, over 1,000 disciples surge forward like a flood, swarming in like ants. A few show-offs, clearly stage 9 or above, glide in on flying swords. One of them is Rex, son of Crimson Skycliff's head elder, cold-faced, riding his flying sword with Ren, the same Ren I recently beat in a match, cradled in his arms. Two stage 9 lackeys trail behind them. Strangely, none of these four even glance at the spirit beasts in the canyon. Their eyes are locked onto our Qingxuan peak group. Ren scans the crowd, and finally spots me. There. She points, voice sharp as a blade. The next second, 4 streaks of sword light shoot straight at me. The moment I step into the canyon, the shadow wolves scatter like they have seen a ghost, bolting in every direction. They are just livestock the sect raises for this. When the time comes, they get culled. Zane, slow down, wait for me, Lyra shouts from behind, straining her voice. No time, rankings are on the line. I hit every wolf I see, moving so fast I am almost flying. Then a voice cuts through, one that makes my skin crawl. Zane. I stop dead. I turn. Of course. It is Ren. She drapes herself over Rex like she has no spine, their flying sword hovering in midair, looking down at me. Above, 1 peak chi cultivation cultivator, 2 at stage 9. On the ground, over 100 Crimson Skycliff disciples close in fast, boxing me in on all sides. Lyra takes one look at this and turns and runs. Not even a word. Rex descends on his flying sword, a smile that does not reach his eyes. Zane, heard you have a 5-element trash root and still made it to stage 6. Come here, let me take a look. I think someone made a mistake. I have the breath concealment art active, holding my cultivation level at stage 6. I watch him close the distance step by step. I back away, every step showing pure reluctance. Rex's smile turns colder. Relax, Ren is mine, but you beat her fair on the stage. No hard feelings. Then his tone shifts. He finally shows his hand. Hand over whatever treasure you are carrying, and I will consider letting you walk away. So that is it. He thinks I am hiding some great treasure, one that does not even exist. I give a slow, obedient nod, and the moment they think I am about to comply, I run. I push the phantom step to its absolute limit. My figure vanishes into a blur, leaving only after images. After him! Rex's furious voice erupts behind me, but even on flying swords they can only watch helplessly as my shadow vanishes into the trees. Before long, they lose me completely. I sprint through the forest and duck into a cave. This was a shadow wolf den, but I have already driven them all out. I set up the only array I have at the entrance, the chi suppression array. Anyone inside is invisible from outside. A mere stage 6, how is he running like a ghost? 2 stage 7, Crimson Skycliff disciples sweep through the area and stop right near the cave entrance. Forget it. Guy clearly has some powerful treasure. Even if we caught him, we would never see a share. The other one shrugs. There is a cave over there. Let us go clear some wolves and pad our rankings. Perfect. Fish on the hook. The moment they step into the chi suppression array, what they see is me, already holding my spirit sword high. A flash of light. Neither of them has time to react. Both drop, critically wounded. I quickly strip them of everything, then toss the bodies just outside the array. Done. Fresh bait. I wait inside the array, eyes cold, with a very bold plan. Use these 2 bodies as bait to lure in more Crimson Skycliff disciples. One comes in, one goes down. 2 days in, the pile of remains outside has grown into a small hill. The stench draws in a steady stream of shadow wolves too. I sit there like a patient fisherman, fishing for disciples, clearing wolves on the side. 20 shadow wolves down. As for Crimson Skycliff disciples, I stop counting. To keep my identity hidden, I put on the Phantom's mask. 3 more days pass. The stench from the pile finally starts getting to me too. Reluctantly, I shut it down. Over 300 profound-grade spirit crystals should be enough for a top ranking. I check my storage pouch, loaded. Most of it stripped from those unlucky disciples. Meanwhile, Rex has been sending people out, and none of them have come back. They could not have. A stage 9 cultivator whispers to Rex, voice full of dread. What could a stage 6 possibly do to us? Rex sounds tough, but his face has gone pale. And now, the shadow wolves in the canyon are launching a relentless counterattack. He is already overwhelmed. What is going on? How do so many people in this trial know how to use stealth arrays? Rex swears out loud, fuming. Word is some idiot was selling array diagrams at dirt cheap prices before the trial started. Completely threw everything off. Watch out! Right then, a peak profound grade Shadow Wolf King lunges straight at him. Rex panics and rockets into the air on his flying sword. Then a dozen more peak profound grade wolves close in from every direction, far too many for 3 people to handle. His 2 lackeys take to the air as well. Only Ren, left behind to collect crystals, is stranded on the ground. Help me! Help me! Ren's desperate scream cuts the air. Rex glances back. Then he looks down at the dense carpet of wolves below, their eyes glowing green in the dark. He steels himself and shouts coldly, "Hold on, Ren, I am going to get help." And just like that, he flies away without looking back. The Wolf King zeroes in on Ren's scream. Its crimson tongue drips with saliva as it lunges, razor fangs carving a deep gash across Ren's face. She screams in agony, but the wolves have already closed in around her. Then, she rips a bronze bell from her storage pouch and floods it with chi. The bell expands instantly, sealing her inside. No matter how hard the wolves tear at it, they cannot crack the spirit treasure's defense. Are we really just leaving Ren behind? One lackey asks, shaken. Lost interest in her a long time ago. Not worth the risk. But her talent is exceptional. If Master Sky blames us, what does talent matter? Rex cuts him off. Does she have a father like mine? He gives his orders. You two, guard the exit. Rob every low-level disciple who comes out, 1 crystal each. then go find Zane. More than the robbery, what Rex truly wants is the great treasure he thinks I am hiding. But after circling the entire canyon on his flying sword, he cannot find even a trace of me. Instead, another figure catches his eye. A young woman in main peak disciple robes, alone, her posture graceful and poised. Rex hovers before her. Travel with me, and I will make sure your ranking comes out on top. Her gaze turns to ice. Her sword flies out of its sheath. Oh? Doing this the hard way. Rex's expression darkens. He unleashes the full pressure of his peak chi cultivation, but the young woman does not flinch at all. Her sword blazes with light and meets him head-on. Even more shocking, her body splits into countless light forms, the complete stellar phantom sword art. Rex stops holding back. He strikes with everything he has, a blow that should kill anyone at his level. But somehow it cannot even break through her body shield chi, and after tanking that hit, the young woman's aura surges dramatically. She too reaches peak chi cultivation. What kind of trick is that? Rex stumbles back, frantically stuffing pills into his mouth. The young woman gives him no room to breathe. She presses forward like a storm, eyes shot with red. She has entered a killing frenzy. You will pay for this. The two clash in an intense standoff. I follow the sound of clashing swords and slip closer. One ghost-faced mask, a body radiating lethal intent. The young woman spots me as if she has found her savior. He is from Crimson Skycliff. Do something. By now, rumors of the ghost-faced hunter targeting Crimson Skycliff disciples have spread all over the canyon. I take one look at the situation. Two peak chi cultivation cultivators, way out of my league. I turn and walk away without hesitation. About 20 zhang back, I stop. I pull out my crossbow from the storage pouch, draw the string, knock the arrow, and let my spiritual sense lock onto Rex's chi signature. The moment Rex leaps high into the air, winding up for his ultimate strike, whoosh! The arrow tears through the air and hits Rex square in the backside. Rex lets out a blood-curdling shriek. He whips around and sees me. Pure rage. A lousy stage 6, and you dare ambush me? His fury shifts targets instantly. He abandons the young woman and charges at me like thunder. A savage burst of sword chi rips through the air from 20 zhang away, and shatters my body shield chi in an instant. Peak chi cultivation is no joke. Even with my true cultivation at the peak of stage 8, I have no chance in a straight fight. Rex is on me in a heartbeat. Another slash, clang! I move fast and pull out my trump card, the Crimson Sun Shield. Against a superior grade defensive spirit treasure, his relentless assault feels like a tickle. Blow after blow, and it is his own flying sword that cannot handle the recoil. It shatters. Right at that moment, a steel blue sword punches through his chest from behind. The young woman, spending her last drop of strength, drives in the killing blow. Then she collapses, completely drained. I put away the shield and help myself to Rex's storage pouch without a second thought. I consider grabbing the young woman's too, but one look at her pale face. I cannot bring myself to do it. I even do something completely out of character. I fish a chi restoration pill from Rex's pouch and slip it between her lips, then stand guard over her in case any shadow wolves come. Night falls. The young woman wakes. The canyon at night is pitch black, with only our campfire crackling between us. When she comes to, she immediately checks herself and her storage pouch, finds everything intact, and lets out a breath. Thank you for the chi restoration pill, she says quietly. 3 spirit stones. I have just finished absorbing a pill, sensing a breakthrough on the horizon. I name my price without looking up. Without a word, she tosses me a pouch of spirit stones. 300. 300 it is. I pocket it without hesitation and start counting my spirit crystals. You have that many? The young woman stares at the mountain of crystals in front of me, jaw dropping. Almost 300. I sweep them into my storage pouch immediately. The last thing I need is someone eyeing my haul. Can I buy some from you? Spirit stones for crystals? Sensing my interest, she names her price without missing a beat. 10 spirit stones per crystal. My eyes light up. That is a steal. But then I think about the sect rewards. My expression goes cold. At that rate, my crystals are worth 3,000 spirit stones. 3,000 cannot even buy the dregs of a low-grade foundation pill. Do you think I do not know that? Wait until I take first place. Then I will give you a foundation pill. Something about her offer does not sit right with me. 1 foundation pill plus 3,000 spirit stones. That enough? I stare at her, cold and level. You want first place that badly? She goes quiet for a moment, then finally tells the truth. The trial's top finisher earns the right to train inside the Void Sanctum for 1 full year, a place I have never even heard of. Time moves 3 times faster inside, she explains. 1 year in there is only 4 months out here. I want to use it to escape. Then she introduces herself and reveals her secret. Her name is Nova, main peak disciple, peak spirit root, noticed by the second elder. But the head elder wants to force her into a cultivation bond with his own grandson. She refused, and now the head elder has threatened to make sure she does not survive the year. You want to escape to the Void Sanctum? I frown. That place is a restricted sect zone, and the sect holds your life tablet. How do you plan to run? I have a secret technique, the root rebinding art. It can reshape my chi signature completely, making the life tablet useless. A flicker of desperation crosses her eyes. 3,000 spirit stones is everything I have. If you are not willing, there's nothing I can do. I think for a moment, and an idea comes to me. How about this? I propose. You take care of 2 people for me. Once it is done, the crystals are yours. At the exit, Those two stage 9 thugs need to be dealt with. Deal. For her freedom, Nova agrees without hesitation. The moment I have her answer, I swallow another pill. The medicinal power spreads through me, and the chi in my meridian core surges like an explosion. A powerful wave of energy rolls out from my body. I have broken through. Nova stares at me, stunned. Stage 9. A peak spirit root like me only reached this level at 14. How old are you? Absurd. At the canyon exit, two Crimson Sky Cliff stage 9 thugs stand at the exit like gatekeepers, blocking hundreds of disciples. New arrival, hand over 1 crystal on your way out or my sword finds your throat. One of them shifts his gaze to me, the ghost face hunter, just arriving. He sees my apparent stage 6 cultivation level and sneers. I ignore him completely. Instead, I spin around and shout to the hundreds of disciples too scared to speak. Everyone rush them together, take down these 2 bandits and split the crystals equally. Dead silence. Everyone looks away and pretends they heard nothing. Kid, you are asking for it. Both thugs erupt with fury and launch at me on their flying swords. Shh! I spit in their direction and bolt. They give chase immediately. I tear through the forest, pulling them in deeper, forcing them to drop altitude. Just as one of them forms a fireball ready to deliver a killing blow, my spiritual sense has already read it. Phantom Step activates. I vanish in an instant. That movement technique, you are Zane. Both snap to attention. And right then, Nova bursts out of the chi suppression array, sword light sweeping across both of them. They take the hit head on, body shield chi shaking violently. And I have already looped back. My true stage 9 cultivation erupts without restraint. The Skyblade comes out. Combined with the ghost-like footwork, both of them do not even get a chance to scream. They go down on the spot. I go straight for their storage pouches. Over 400 spirit crystals. These two were thorough. Nova steps forward. Give me the crystals, that is enough. What about my foundation pill? I am not convinced. If I break my word, you can report me to the head elder yourself. Only then do I hand over the bulk of the crystals. Outside the canyon, the elders have been waiting. Master Sky, your son is sure to take first place again this year. We must celebrate. Another elder gushes. Ha ha ha, I have already prepared a feast at Crimson Skycliff. I hope you will all join us. Master Sky beams with confidence, scanning the crowd, as if the victory is already his. His son has reached peak chi cultivation after all, with 2 stage 9 enforcers at his side. How could he possibly lose? Soon, the 7-day limit runs out. The trial ends, the array opens. Hundreds of disciples file out. The first to emerge are naturally the weaker ones. Nearly 1,000 disciples pour out of the canyon, but Master Sky's expression grows increasingly uneasy. Something is wrong. Not a single person riding a flying sword. His son always loves making an entrance like that. Master Sky, why has your son not come out yet? Another elder notices the same. Ha ha, perhaps still hunting spirit beasts. Got a bit held up. Master Sky forces a laugh and quietly crushes a message talisman. Rex, get out of the canyon now. But another half hour passes. The rankings are almost posted. Rex still has not appeared. Then suddenly, someone in the crowd calls out, Master Sky, something is very wrong. Why has not a single Crimson Skycliff disciple come out? It lands like a thunderclap. Master Sky shoots to his feet, spiritual sense tearing through the crowd of nearly 1,000. It is true, not one Crimson Skycliff disciple is among them. This is bad. Something is very wrong. Elderstone's face goes white as a sheet. In the next instant, both of them abandon all decorum and shoot into the canyon as 2 streaks of light, driven by something close to madness. In the blink of an eye, Master Sky flies back out, cradling the remains of his son Rex. Elderstone follows right behind, his face the color of a man who has just lost everyone he loved. His storage pouch is packed with over 100 rotting bodies. Every elder present keeps their mouth shut. Not a word. Only the judging elder raises his voice and calls out, Chi cultivation stage trial concluded. First place, main peak disciple Nova, 500 spirit crystals. Reward, 1 pill Dreg's essence. Second place, Qing Xuan peak disciple Zane, 450 spirit crystals. Reward, 10,000 spirit stones. I step forward and collect my 10,000 spirit stones. But in the few seconds it takes me to pocket the reward, Nova, who collected her reward just before me, is gone. My stomach drops. I spread my spiritual sense instantly and lock onto her chi signature. I give chase without a second thought. The moment she left the canyon, she flew straight toward the void sanctum on her flying sword. I have reached stage 9, but I have had no time to train sword flight. All I can do is push the phantom step to its limit and chase her on foot. Nova, did you forget something? I call up with my most harmless smile, doing my best to sound friendly. Nova glances down, sees me refusing to give up, and replies coldly, Zane, I took care of those 2 for you. I gave you 3,000 spirit stones. What more do you want? What about the foundation pill you promised me? My voice drops. I am the true first place here. The foundation pill should be mine. She drops that line and drives her flying sword sharply higher, instantly pulling out of my sword chi range. I see what she is doing. I rip out my bow and arrow from the storage pouch and fire shot after shot at her in the sky. But it is hopeless. Too far. And she is moving too fast. Every arrow falls short. I can only watch, helpless, as she flies into the void sanctum and glides through the guardian array with her first place token like it is nothing. By the time I reach the barrier, my token is completely useless. This place only recognizes the champion. Inside the array, Nova touches down safely. She turns to look at me, a shameless grin spreading across that impossibly beautiful face. Zane, I am heading into the sanctum. The world is wide. We will meet again. She even throws me a playful wink. Then she walks to a stone tablet carved with ancient script, fingers dancing across it, flooding it with chi to activate the teleportation array. In the last moment before she vanishes, she glances back one more time. That infuriating, "What are you going to do about it?" look burned into my mind. I let out a long, slow breath. That was a foundation pill. A perfect top-grade foundation pill worth 50,000 spirit stones. Unbelievable. I slam my fist into the barrier. The recoil knocks me back several steps. Cultivators in this world. You really cannot trust any of them. I mutter to myself and head back. Still, it was not a total loss. Just cleaning out those Crimson Sky Cliff fools alone netted me a solid haul of secret arts and spirit stones, plus a few spirit weapons that are not half bad. I count everything up. Exactly 50,000 spirit stones. Not a single one more or less. I am still debating whether to pour it into body cultivation herbs or use it all on a foundation pill when Lyra's voice comes from outside my door. Zane, Master Ling wants you. I open the door. Lyra is standing there with a face like a thundercloud glaring at me. How come I could not find you anywhere in that canyon, and you just waltz out in second place without caring about me at all? She unloads every grievance she has from the trial. I do not hear a word of it. I walk straight to the main hall. Give me a break. When I was surrounded, she turned and ran without looking back. I saw the whole thing. Inside the main hall, Master Ling sits there, peacefully sipping tea. The moment he sees me walk in, his face breaks into a warm smile. Come in, tell me. How on earth did you collect so many spirit crystals in there? I find a seat, and without flinching, I start spinning a story, painting myself as an incredibly lucky scavenger who just happened to be in the right places. As for wiping out those Crimson Skycliff disciples, not a word. So then, the deaths at Crimson Skycliff have nothing to do with you? Master Ling probes carefully. I could not do something like that, I say, all wide-eyed innocence. I did hear there was a woman in a ghost face mask hunting Crimson Skycliff disciples everywhere. My guess is she was this year's champion, Nova. My answer is airtight. Master Ling nods and asks nothing more. Meanwhile, Crimson Skycliff has become the most chaotic place in the entire sect. A crowd of elders has gathered, all here for the spectacle. Master Sky had set up a banquet to celebrate his son Rex winning first place for the 4th year in a row. Except, his son is gone. Every chi cultivation stage disciple from Crimson Skycliff has been wiped out, and yet the other elders sit right down at the feast anyway, helping themselves to the food and wine, the whole atmosphere twisted and surreal. In the center of the Great Hall, Master Sky ignores all of them. Rex's body lies right there, covered in white cloth. He sits beside it, hollow and weeping. Then, a girl walks in, half her face covered in horrific scars. The moment Master Sky lays eyes on her, the color drains from his face. He lets out a strangled cry. He mutters a mind-steadying mantra under his breath, trembling, and takes a long moment to collect himself. He roars at her. "What kind of monster are you? Get out!" He raises his hand to strike. Then the girl bursts into tears. "Master Sky, it is me. It is Ren." Ren's sobs are raw and broken, and the wound that had barely healed tears open again. Golden fluid streams down her face mixed with tears, abandoned by Rex, her face destroyed, and now even the master who adored her cannot recognize her. "You are Ren?" Master Sky finally sees it. "Who did this to you?" Ren chokes through every detail of what happened in the canyon. "Nonsense! Rex adored you. How could he possibly leave you behind?" Master Sky stands abruptly, turning his back to her, unable to look at that face. "Master Sky, every word I said is true." Ren sobs even harder. "Enough. Rex is gone. This matter ends here. Do not bring it up again." Master Sky shoves Ren out the door with a cold expression, then returns to sit beside his son's body. "My son, rest easy. Your father will make whoever did this pay." He wipes his tears. His voice carries the edge of something that has crawled up from the darkest pit. The words have barely left his lips when Elder Stone bursts in, breathless. "Brother! We found it! We found it!" He clutches a jade memory slip, obtained by the soul ancestor through a ritual of extracting and refining Rex's soul, recovering the memories from the moments before his death. Master Sky snatches it, presses it to his forehead, and in an instant, Rex's final moments flood into his soul sea. Main Peak Disciple Nova, and a ghost-faced figure, wearing Qingzhuan Peak Disciple robes, Chai Cultivation Stage 6. Wait, concealing his true cultivation level. It is him. It has to be him. Even though I was masked in those memories, Master Sky immediately connects it to before the trial, when he personally ordered Rex to go after whatever treasure I was hiding. Looking at it now, that treasure must be powerful enough to take down an entire sect division. "But brother, you cannot charge him based on this alone," Elder Stone cautions. "He was masked. The punishment hall will not accept it." "Then go after the woman first." Master Sky grits his teeth. "Take down Nova, the trial champion, on the other side of the sect." I return to Qingshuan Peak. With nothing pressing to do, I head over to visit Hao, but when I push open his door, the room is empty. Only a letter sits on the table. Qingshuan Peak is great, but I feel like I'm getting soft here. Heading back to the servant hall to chop wood, Earn contribution points, build strength. Come visit when you have time. How? I read it and shake my head. What can you do? The gap between us keeps growing. He scraped his way to stage 2. I am at stage 9. That suffocating distance must be crushing for him. Once I have handled everything that needed doing, I throw myself into training. Sword flight practice. Time slips by. Winter fades and spring arrives. I can now ride my flying sword with ease. I head to Moss's herb garden and hand over 3 pouches of rare seeds, worth 50,000 spirit stones, and reinforce the garden's array while I am at it. These spirit plants are what I am counting on for the next year. They cannot afford to fail. Once all of that is done, I fly over to the mission board. These past few months my cultivation has reached the peak of stage 9, one step away from foundation building. All I need is another 50,000 spirit stones for a foundation pill, and I will cross that threshold. Good timing. There is a guard mission posted. A large city west of the sect is hosting a major auction and urgently needs 10 strong cultivators to keep order. Minimum requirement, peak chi cultivation. I qualify. I take it on the spot. Traveling with me are 2 foundation building cultivators and 7 others at peak chi cultivation. Our group of 10 flies in on our swords and gets assigned to the edges of the main auction hall. Our job: stand there and look intimidating. Maintain order. Word is the treasure assembly got hold of something from an ancient ruin. Priceless. Obviously, why else would they bring in cultivators from Nine Heavens sect? The crowd buzzes with speculation. Up front, a stunning woman in red sways onto the stage. First item, a mid-grade spirit weapon, the Cloud Source Sword. Opening bid 20 spirit stones. 30. The hall warms up fast, but the real players stay perfectly still, clearly waiting for something bigger. Then the 10th item goes up. A spectator shoots to his feet. All 10 of us guards lock our spiritual sense onto him instantly. That is a flesh-mending pill, he cries out. A grade 3 healing pill that can rebuild flesh and restore bone. The moment it appears, not just the crowd, even I feel my pulse quicken. A grade 3 pill, the flesh-mending pill. Opening bid, 10,000 spirit stones. At that price, most of the crowd deflates. In the end, a wandering foundation building cultivator takes it for 18,000. The 11th item, the flesh-mending pill formula. Opening bid, 6,000 spirit stones. My mind jumps, they are selling the recipe too? The formula has a self-destruct seal. Once opened, it burns itself to ash within 3 breaths. Only a cultivator with exceptional spiritual sense could memorize it in time. In the end, the formula sells for 8,000 spirit stones to a stage 8 cultivator. Finally, the last item. Now, the centerpiece of tonight's auction, a superior grade spirit plant, the ancient Bodhi tree. The hall goes silent. 2 attendants carry in a potted plant, a tiny sapling no bigger than a palm. No opening bid, name your price. Highest offer wins. Silence. Not a single bid. This thing is too dangerous to touch. Even if you win it for 1 spirit stone and walk out that door, the next second you will be torn apart. Seeing no one move, the woman raises the stakes. If this item goes unsold, it will be destroyed on the spot. Final 10 counts. No price limit. 10, 9, 3, 2. Still nothing. Dead silence. Bring the spirit fire, she calls out, barely hiding her frustration. An attendant raises his hand, ready to ignite the stone and burn the precious sapling to cinders. When a raspy voice cuts through the hall, 10,000 spirit stones, I will take it. The bidder is a frail, gaunt old man in plain robes. His cultivation is only stage 7. He is hunched over, his voice nearly gone. The woman in red forces a smile. Congratulations! The ancient Bodhi tree goes to you. Wait, the old man speaks again. I have one condition. Please go ahead. One of these 10 Nine Heavens sect disciples. I need one to escort me safely. In return, I will offer 20,000 spirit stones as thanks. Clever old man. But all 10 of us exchange glances. Nobody is that naive. Escorting him right now is basically walking into a trap. Seeing no one volunteer, the old man waves his hand and turns to leave. Very well. It seems this was not meant to be. Wait, I will escort you. I step forward. Are you serious? A foundation building cultivator beside me scoffs. Hey, fortune favors the bold. I know exactly what I am doing. Normal missions earn barely a handful of spirit stones a day. I am broke and I am running out of time. If I do not take this risk, foundation building will stay a dream. The hermit studies me for a moment. My eyes are clear. I look honest enough. He gives a slow nod. Deal. He tucks the ancient Bodhi tree against his chest and follows close behind me. We leave the auction quickly. We are barely out the door when countless chi signatures lock onto us. Without a word, I launch onto my flying sword and take the old man with me at full speed. Whoosh! A flying sword skims past my neck, nearly slicing my throat. My spiritual sense had read it just in time. I barely dodge. Not bad, kid. A foundation-building cultivator grins and closes in. I dive straight into the forest below, weaving through the trees at high speed. A brutal test of spiritual sense and reflexes. Sure enough, the foundation-building cultivator slows dramatically. But above, a group of Stage 9 cultivators in matching uniforms pin us with a tracking compass, refusing to let go. Then, the hermit bites his finger and pulls out a talisman, drawing on it right there, bold and swift. Demons, be gone! The talisman flies out, erupting into a roaring fireball that blasts apart in the air, scattering the pursuers above. Then, he pulls out another talisman, draining every last drop of his chi, and draws a golden protection talisman. Boom. The foundation-building cultivator slams face first into the golden barrier and gets launched away. By the time I look back, the foundation-building cultivator has vanished completely. The hermit draws one final talisman, masking both our chi signatures entirely. We fly and weave until we finally reach a hidden valley. Come in, sit down. Inside the cave, the hermit brews tea and slides a storage pouch across to me. This is the 20,000 spirit stones I promised. Then he produces a written contract. This is a binding spirit contract. If you write a vow to never reveal the secrets of this place, I will give you an additional gift. I write down the vow without hesitation and add the clause he requests. I will not enter this place again, unless invited by the hermit himself. Then I press a drop of my own life essence into the contract. He tells me that breaking this oath means losing my cultivation, or death. What is this gift you mentioned? The hermit leads me out of the cave and into a herb garden. Follow exactly in my footsteps. One wrong step and you die. He points to several ancient-looking spirit plants and asks, "Do you know what these are?" I shake my head. These are the 4-leaf spirit heart herb, the golden body fruit, and the jade marrow leaf, all over 100 years old. Taken together, their combined effect far surpasses any foundation pill. If you want them, take them. His tone is generous, but his eyes are full of reluctance. These are for me? I am stunned. If not you, I will never get to use them. A shadow of sorrow falls across his face. I have tended to them for 100 years. My lifespan is nearly gone, and my cultivation has only ever reached stage 7. I spent half my life chasing foundation building, and still came up empty. I take the 3 spirit plants and slip them into my pouch, feeling complicated about it. Now look over there. The hermit gestures toward the vast spirit field beyond. My life's work is right here. If you can extend my lifespan by 100 years, all of it is yours. I scan the field. The plants are ancient, their medicinal power concentrated and pure. There is even the jade ginseng I need for body cultivation. I've heard that a grade 3 life extension pill can add 100 years, I mention, but no one in this area knows how to make one. The hermit's face falls. Then I will take my leave. If you ever come across a way to extend a life, please think of me. I bow respectfully and head out. Back at the treasure assembly, my 9 sect companions are deep into their feast. "You're back just in time," a foundation-building cultivator calls out, waving me over. "Did you get the old man back safely?" another asks, leaning forward. I shake my head and make something up on the spot. "Ran into attackers on the way, foundation-building cultivators too. I could see things going south, so I dropped him and ran. With the spirit contract binding me, I will not say a single word more than that." We eat and drink our fill, then return to report to the sect. I collect my 1,000 spirit stones in mission pay, but all told, my earnings this run come to 21,000 spirit stones, plus a set of herbs that outclass any foundation pill. I get back to my room and waste no time grinding up all 3 spirit plants and swallowing them in one go. Boom. Raw medicinal power detonates inside me, blazing through every bone and meridian. My body feels like it is about to burst. By the time I fully absorb it all, a full month has passed. Did it work? Or not? I look inward at my meridian core and find myself in a strange in-between state. Of my 5 spirit roots, only 1 has been tempered to foundation building level by the medicinal power. The other 4 are still stuck at the chi cultivation stage. I have completed 1/5 of foundation building, done, but not really done. I am stuck between 2 choices: seal off the other 4 roots and push forward alone, or find a way to bring all 5 roots through together. For answers, I go to Master Ling. He examines me carefully, his expression serious. "Your spirit root formation is unlike anything I have ever seen, but foundation building is the first true step of cultivation. The foundation must be solid. If you force it now, you may leave yourself with damage that can never be undone. In my view, you must bring all 5 spirit roots through foundation building successfully, before anything else." With that, he pulls a fragrant pill from his storage pouch. "This is a foundation pill. It was meant for Lyra, but you need it more right now. Take it." "Master Ling," I hesitate. Taking this means taking Lyra's chance. "Take it." Master Ling presses it firmly into my hand. "Stop overthinking. You still need 3 more rounds of foundation building resources to fully break through. What is there to refuse?"